David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names. David Scott Kelly.
Thursday in the city of Tucson. Welcome to the program. It is a gorgeous day, January the 18th. Of course, a lot happening in our fair city this week, and we are going to talk about it all here today with you. The number to get in on the program, 520-848-1290. Arizona men's basketball with a win last night. They come back home. They do what they do. And what they do is they win after losing. Now, they did not win to the degree that they normally do after a loss, but that is now 15 wins and 0 losses after a loss in the Tommy Lloyd era. They have not lost back-to-back games under this head coach in his 3rd season. They came into last night averaging 22 points in the differential in games after a loss. They didn't quite get to that mark against the spunky, I guess you could say, Southern California Trojans, who were playing without a number of players. Their top 2 leading scorers did not appear in the ball game. Boogie Ellis was not there playing last night. One other player played, Joshua Morgan, but really was not fully healthy and only played 12 minutes, did not score in that ball game. And, of course, also without Isaiah Collier, their fine guard, who has an injured wrist. So Southern California was trending nicely. They'd won a couple of games, but then the injury to Collier happened, and things have kind of gone off the skid since then as they lost now for a 3rd straight game here in Tucson last night. Arizona still struggling with the zone. What would you tell them? How would you coach them to play better against the zone defenses that they are going to probably be seeing a lot, because I'm sure the tape now is showing that they have issues with how to deal with the zone defense, and that might be your best chance to beat the Arizona Wildcats. I don't know how much that's going to work at home, because they usually still have enough. Even last night, they played better against the zone than they had against Washington State. Not great, but better. And they still had enough to beat an undermanned Southern California team. But even Tommy Lloyd in his press conference said, heck, a full-strength USC team, I don't know if we beat them with the way that that team played last night. What do you think of that comment there, J-Dub?
I think he's wishes his team would finish better. That's what I think, TK. I think it's a tip of the cap to the struggles USC's gone through this year with their injuries clearly coming in. I think they were number 2, right, in the preseason polls as far as finish was concerned. So, I mean, that Trojan team coming in, a lot of people had high hopes, clearly a lot of injury concerns. And I think what that comment really says to me is that he's not 100% happy with how his team personally is playing. I think Tommy Lloyd believes in his heart that if Arizona's playing their best basketball, that they beat that Trojan team, healthy or otherwise. I think the statement really reflects more upon how they've been finishing around the rim, how they've been attacking the zone defense, and the issues that they've had potentially on their own defensive side of thing with some lapses here and there. So they just got to tighten things up, and that's this time of the season, DK. I mean, it's long basketball season.
It is. Caleb Love, another solid game. He scored 20 points for Arizona, 5 of 12. Missed 9 shots. So I'm sure he's still probably not real happy with that number. Took 16 in the ball game. Did have 5 assists for the Arizona Wildcats. Kylan Boswell, 11 points. Just out 3 assists, did not turn it over in the contest last night. Umar Balo, 13 rebounds. Keyshawn Johnson, 13 rebounds as the Wildcats won the battle on the boards, 47-38. 30 points in the paint, but USC got 28 of their own. The only really of the what they call the transition stats that stands out was the second chance points, which the Wildcats on their 21 offensive rebounds, were able to get 22 second chance points in the ball game. They won by 15. They didn't cover. They were favored by 19 in the ball game, but they won it. And nowadays you just have to win because you got to keep pace with Oregon because Oregon is undefeated, and the Ducks will be on the court tonight in the Pac-12. Just 2 games last night. The other game involved the UCLA Bruins coming on the road and getting a win up north against Tempe in a game that was marred by technical fouls at the end. Bobby Hurley was not real happy with that. We'll let you hear his comments coming up a little bit later. The Ducks, though, are 5-0 on the season. Oregon, they will play at Colorado tonight. So that's going to be an interesting ball game just because Colorado has played well at home. In fact, all 3 of their wins are at home. Their 3 losses have come on the road.
They always play well at home. I'm looking at Oregon's schedule. They won 2 games against the LA schools at home. They beat the Washington schools on the road, Cal at home, and then now they're going to the mountain schools. So that 5-0 record
in jeopardy this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not to say that they're not tested. Clearly, they've played some teams, but they haven't gone out on the road to play some of the better teams. So we'll see what happens after the Colorado-Utah games this weekend.
So the Wildcats could very well find themselves tied for first place if they can take care of their own business on Saturday. The final appearance of the UCLA Bruins here in Tucson.
How many A
as
claps?
A Pac-12 team.
How many A claps we're going to hear in the building?
Well, I'm sure we'll hear a few. There's going to be Bruin fans in there, and that's what Bruin fans do, right? They A clap.
Always. There's always a section, generally somewhere up high, but they're always, whenever there's a run, you'll always hear it.
What's the most annoying? Well, maybe we'll make this a question of the day. What's the most annoying of the Pac-12 traditions, visiting team tradition or opponent traditions? What's the most annoying that you actually may miss? Are you going to miss the A clap by UCLA? Are you going to miss the incessant playing of Tribute to Troy by the USC band? What are some of the other ones?
Honestly, I don't know.
Are you going to miss? Well, we'll have the curtain of distraction still, so we won't miss that.
Because of proximity, I think it's the A clap just because, the UCLA Arizona rivalry has gone back such a long time. They've always had year in, year out. There's 2 quality programs, 2 quality teams when they face each other. And so the fans will come loud and proud to McHale. And that's rare. That's very rare because of how hard that ticket is to get traditionally since the early 80s. It's rare that you'll see another fan base come in, make enough noise that we hear U of A chants on the road, David Kelly, in Cameron. We hear them everywhere. It's rare you hear that in McHale, audible fan. I'm talking from the fans, not from the cheerleaders or from the band, as you're saying. But yeah, the A clap, there's always some group somewhere in McHale, in my experience, that'll make some noise. So yeah, that's to me the most annoying.
Tickets are still available. We'll check StubHub here in a little bit to kind of let you know what is happening there. There were some seats up in section 43. I would imagine I've never counted the rows. Maybe I'll do that next time I'm in McHale Center. Go up there and see what is at. I would imagine section 43 is probably the last row of those upper level seats. So there were some seats in section 43 for as low as $40. So you can get in the building. If you want to be in the building, you can get into the building tomorrow to see this final appearance, or not tomorrow, but Saturday. See, I'm off because we played Wednesday night.
If we had some celebs in the house last night, what's going to be Saturday? What's Saturday's going to be like?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Well, obviously, I would imagine, the Suns didn't play, so that allowed for, KD to be in the building. I don't know. I haven't looked ahead to see what the Suns' schedule is like, and I'm sure another reason KD was in the building last night, KD being Kevin Durant, was because of his relationship with LeBron James, and he was probably there in support of Bronny. So I don't know that you'll have that kind of star power, but I would imagine you'll have, U of A star power for sure if there's, an availability for some of those guys to be here.
I would just hope that there's some of the, those who aren't involved in a front office or in a coaching capacity in the NBA, that some of the Bruins and Wildcats from the past, not necessarily even just some of those people who have been involved in some of those great games over the past, 45 years in the conference. I would hope there's a representation to some degree, even if they're not shown up on the video monitor.
Right.
I would hope that there's some people in the building because it is, again, the final trip that they'll take in conference into Tucson.
Well, and it was unfortunate. We obviously, one of the questions we wanted to ask Dave Hickey this week, we did not get a chance to talk to Dave in our normal slot because of all that was going on with the arrival of the new football coach. We'll talk to him next week, hopefully when things settle down again. But one of the things I had wanted to ask him was about if there was anything structured planned for this weekend. I've not necessarily heard anything along those lines in terms of, former players being back, if they're trying to get guys, are they going to, hey, we're celebrating this rivalry and we're bringing back people from both sides or anything like that. I would imagine we would have heard something about that if anything like that was in the works. But I have not, so I'm going to imagine it's just going to be, pretty much business as usual, but just with a little bit of a different tilt on it because it is the last time that the Bruins will be here.
Yeah, I mean, if it's led from the head coach's position, obviously it's just another game, right? I mean, this is a game in a long season that they're trying to get to play as good a basketball as they can leading into March. And I think there's a finality to it for us longtime Arizona Wildcat fans. And I don't think you can really look at that from the perspective of the administration at the U of A or in Westwood because they hope to continue this series well past the time that the two teams leave this conference. So.
And Tommy was pretty adamant about that. And I'll pull that cut for you a little bit later. He was pretty adamant that he wants this to continue. He wants, and he said it before, he just reiterated it last night that he wants to play UCLA. Obviously, there's nothing set in stone past this season, but it's something that he wants to happen. He believes it's something that Mick Cronin wants to happen. And so you will see how that transpires moving forward as the new scheduling, and they'll figure out. I would imagine it's going to take him a minute or two to figure out the Big Ten scheduling or the Big 12 scheduling.
Well, there's no travel partners, and we don't really know what's going to happen. 20 game schedule, right? So, yeah, it's going to be tight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how it all plays out. All right, here's what we've got in store for you today. We're going to let you rehear some of the best of the press conference yesterday, introducing the new football coach, Brent Brennan, some of the top things he said as he was addressing the media for the first time. Also in the house yesterday was the wife of Dick Tomey, Nancy. And Nancy had a chance to catch up with her for a few minutes and get her thoughts on the hiring of Brent Brennan. And so you will hear from Nancy Tomey coming up in this hour. Also, we're going to talk some Arizona women's tennis today. Kayla Wilkins, graduate student now. She is the graduate student leader on the women's tennis team. They opened with a win, and this past week a sweep of the GCU school, Grand Canyon, as well as UC San Diego. So Kayla Wilkins will join us to talk some Arizona women's tennis, get you set for that season that's going to be happening over at the Robson Tennis Center. Also, Crickets got tickets coming up today. Not once, but twice. We've got 2 sets of tickets that we're giving away for you. One set is coming up later in this hour. So get ready to be by the phone so you can put your hand on those numbers and get yourself some tickets to something this weekend. She never tells us what it's going to be. We find out just like you do when she drops those tickets onto the air.
She's so mysterious.
She's very mysterious lady over there in that traffic room that we have here across the way from us. So you'll hear, so have a chance to get some tickets. Also, coming up, we'll go over a lot of what's happening in the world of sports, get you caught up on a lot of things. Obviously we're off on Monday and have been chasing football stuff the last few days, so we haven't had a chance to really get into a whole lot. Tennis, we mentioned, had some big wins. Gymnastics, U of A gymnastics, the Gym Cats, last weekend went to their first tournament and posted their best ever opening score for a season. Now, in gymnastics, I don't know if you know the dynamic of gymnastics, but you want to be in the 196, 197 range for a meet. And normally U of A starts the season somewhere around 194, maybe 195 if they're really hot. Well, this year, they started the season in the 196 realm. Best score ever to start a season for the Gym Cats, and they're ranked 17th right now in the country. So shout out. Had a chance to see John Court yesterday at the Brent Brennan press conference, and he set the bar high. And we had said we thought this could be a pretty good team that he had this year. He's got a lot of seniors, a lot of leaders, a lot of girls that have been there and done it. We're going to talk to Allison Fears, one of those senior leaders, tomorrow right here on this program. So we'll talk to Allison about that fabulous weekend. And the ladies are home this weekend at McHale Center. We'll tell you a little bit more about that coming up later in the show. But first, before she gives out tickets later on this hour, she's got to make sure she gets you home every 20 minutes on the fives. With your traffic, here's Cricket.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. And weather together, collisions reported Craycroft and Golf Links. Golf Links in Craycroft, a crash at Houghton and Golf Links. Irvington and Park Avenue traffic signal upgrade work until 6 tonight. No left turns at the intersection, and officers on site to direct you through at Irvington and Park Avenue. 48 the low, 77 partly cloudy tomorrow, and 75 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Wendy's Breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles lets you choose your perfect duo from your fave 4, like a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in the combo. Single item at regular price.
Did you miss the big game? We got you covered.
Rashada will take the snap, play fake, sets up, looking to throw, nowhere to go. Now he'll run it to the near side, being chased and sacked. Back at the 41-yard line, Jacob Manu.
PK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
Happy New Year, guys. That was right in my ear.
Oh, good. I see you're doing the whole baby New Year costume with the diaper and the sash.
Time to make resolutions. I resolved not to look at you dressed like that. People should start the new year by fixing up their heating and air system.
That's true. Alaskan AC can fix the stuff other companies can't.
Again, right in my ear. Plus, the Grizzly.
Right. The Grizzly is our custom-built AC made to take a chomp out of Arizona summers.
Still winter, guys. And we can fix up heaters to save our customers gobs of money. Gobs.
We believe in fixing before replacing.
What's a gob?
An Alaska-fied system is one that will last longer
And is guaranteed to be repair-free for an entire year. Woohoo! I swear, one more time with that thing.
Good resolution, Gary. Let's get out there and help people fix up their systems and save some real money.
All right. Probably should have told him to put some clothes on first.
Yeah.
Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
Listen to the home of the Wildcats wherever you are on your iPhone and iPad by downloading our new app in the App Store so you can tune in wherever you are 24 hours a day. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
The American Red Cross is facing an emergency blood shortage. More donors are urgently needed now to ensure blood is ready at a moment's notice. Make an appointment today to give. Use the Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule schedule your donation.
Make sure you download or update the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. We've got the entire state covered like no other sports radio station in southern Arizona. Plus, when you have the app, you can cover U of A sports with Wildcats Radio 1290 anywhere and everywhere you go and out of town, too. The mountains, the beach, working out, or maybe even...
Oh, no. Turn that off.
Download or update the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today and never miss a moment of sports analysis. Well, maybe an occasional moment. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Can't get enough of your Arizona Wildcats? Make sure to stop by Taco Bell on Oracle and McGee, January 18th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. for a meet and greet opportunity with Arizona men's basketball players Kylan Boswell and Keyshawn Johnson at Taco Bell. Pick up your favorite Taco Bell combo and live Moss with an autograph or photo from Kylan and Keyshawn. Taco Bell, locally owned and operated and proud partner of Arizona Athletics. Bear down and live Moss.
Hey listener, welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it!
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Progressive protects more than just your home and car. You could save when you bundle your motorcycles, ATVs, boats, and RVs. Doesn't that sound good? Like the sound of the wind in the trees as your RV sits parked in the forest. Is that the call of the majestic owl? And there's the sound of a tree branch crashing into the roof of your RV. Oof, I guess their nest was in that branch. But you know what does sound good? You're covered with Progressive. So bundle all your vehicles and home in one place and save with the multi-policy discount. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. NFL football coming up this weekend. It's the divisional playoff round. We have got our schedule set for you. We are going to have one game full and one game partial coming up for you. Of course, we will have Arizona men's basketball coverage for you on Saturday of the game against the UCLA Bruins. Tip-off is at 2 o'clock at McHale Center. Our coverage will begin at 10 a.m. With the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. And then we will have the basketball game here, post-game show, and we will join in progress after our post-game show. Probably will end right around 7 o'clock or so. And we'll join in progress the second divisional playoff game of the Saturday schedule. That'll be the Green Bay Packers at the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy, the Arizona-bred high school quarterback, now leading the 49ers, threw for over 4,000 yards this year and 31 touchdowns. And the Packers come in off a big win over the Dallas Cowboys. San Francisco, a 9.5-point favorite in that ball game. Then Sunday, we will have in full for you the second game of that day, and that'll be the divisional playoff game in the AFC against the Chiefs and the Bills. Can you believe that this is the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career that he has had to go play a road playoff game?
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Well,
He's
I know they're
never played on the road in the playoffs outside of obviously playing, in the Super Bowl or something of that nature.
I know they're closing in on that Patriot record for most consecutive division titles, like 7, I think. Is what
I think they've
8.
been to, 7 AFC championship games in a row or some stupid number like that?
Very successful.
All of them at home.
I got a question.
Yeah.
That Meridian Wealth Management pregame show on Saturday, are you going to be here in the building for that one?
We will not be here in the building, you so say there, J-Dub. We will be, at least I will, and Kelvin Efon, you will be in the building, JW, because you have to pilot the plane.
Somebody has to press the buttons.
Somebody has to press the buttons. But Kelvin Efon and I will be at the Jim Click Hall of Champions at McHale Center on the backside, on the north side, where they've got the fancy stones with people's names on them and all of that kind of thing.
Nice
we
spot.
will be out there with our big tent for the pregame show ahead of the huge matchup between the Wildcats and the UCLA Bruins. So that'll be at 10 o'clock. Come on out to McHale Center and hang out with us before you head to the game. on Saturday. 520-848-1290. Let's take our first call of the afternoon and talk to Walter. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, thank you for the opportunity. I just had a couple of questions. One is, have we know how many assistant coaches we may be keeping on the football staff to keep some of those good players we got? And secondly, did the Wildcats look sluggish, or is it just me? Thank you very much. I'll hang up and listen.
All right, Walter. I'm assuming you're talking about basketball in terms of did the Wildcats look sluggish. I don't know that they looked sluggish. I wouldn't categorize it as that.
I think the energy levels are fine. I think the way they ran their offense against the zone at times looked sluggish.
Yeah.
I think that the passing around the perimeter may be, what you might have seen. I think effort and energy and everything else was there. That's a well-coached team, a good coach on the other side there, and they're a little bit desperate as well. They did not have their best game, did the Arizona Wildcats last night. And I think that 2-3 zone is a little bit confusing. I think that they just need to keep doing what they're doing and be a little bit more aggressive and get the ball in the middle. But as far as sluggish goes, I didn't feel like there was any lack of effort or energy. You, DK?
No, not at all. The energy was good all night long, I thought, at both ends of the floor. But again, like you said, I think this, it may look that way, may look sluggish when you're thinking a lot and trying to figure it out.
Well, I think when you're used to seeing a Tommy Lloyd-led team win by 22 points after a loss, and they don't do that on their home court as well, that may have something to do with it. But I think it was you said it right off the top, I think a spirited effort from the Trojans. Again, that's a team that came in, they're down a couple of starters, expectations for that team to make a run in March. That's a quality roster that's not complete right now. And I think the guys that were there for them put up a lot of fight. Yeah, I didn't see as much. What I will say is that they do need to work on finishing around the rim.
Yeah.
That's it.
Walter's second question was about what assistant coaches are going to potentially be remaining on the Wildcats football staff. In fact, J-Dub, let's play here what Brent Brennan had to say about one coach in Dwayne Aquina and the possibility of keeping him.
The one thing that I'm most excited about is I do think I have a decent commitment from Dwayne Aquina to continue to be part of this, which is exciting. Just the teacher he is, the person he is, the leader he is. I'm excited about that.
So Dwayne Aquina looks like he'll be remaining. We already know the coaches that are not going to be coming back that have already been announced as coaches up in Seattle for Jed Fish, and that includes Jimmy Doherty, who was the quarterback's coach, as well as their third down play caller, Brennan Carroll, your offensive coordinator, offensive line, Scotty Graham, your running backs, Kevin Cummings, your wide receivers, Jordan Powpow, your tight ends and special teams coordinator. So essentially the entire offensive staff has gone with Jed Fish to Seattle. Now, on the defensive side, two guys on that side of the ball have also made the decision to go to Seattle. Jason Kafusi, who was coaching the defensive lines, as well as John Richardson, who was the new defensive backs coach that they brought on last season, a great add to this staff. Those two from the defensive side are going on. Clearly, Jed Fish was not going to take the U of A guys with him, and those two guys were Chuck Cecil and Ricky Hundley. Will they remain on with this team? That will remain to be seen. If there's a spot on Brent Brennan's staff for those two to go along with a Dwayne Aquina, but pretty much it's going to be a full staff that Brent Brennan is going to have to bring in here. Now, one interesting part of it that I tweeted out the other night is what he might do with his strength and conditioning coach position, because he's got a pretty good one that's already on campus, but he's got another position right now, and that's Chris Allen, who worked on the staff with Rich Rodriguez as his strength and conditioning and coordinator. He has also led football strength staffs at Indiana as well as here at Arizona. He right now is the strength and conditioning coach for the Arizona women's basketball team. He was brought back here to Tucson by Adia Barnes. And I kind of, playfully tweeted out, what would Brent Brennan have to trade to Adia Barnes to get Chris Allen to come over and be his strength and conditioning guy? So that's going to be a very interesting thing. And it's a conversation that I would absolutely have if you're Brent Brennan. I think you've got to have that conversation because Chris Allen, is excellent. From what we've seen, just what he's been able to do with that women's basketball team, they've got 7 players. They've got to be in tremendous shape. We've seen, and at times I've been down on Helena Puello, but Helena Puello is played 49 minutes in that game the other night. Again, they went to double overtime. So he's got those girls in tremendously good shape. They came back out after playing 2 overtime periods and were able to compete and be there at the end against an Oregon team and got down early, but still were able to come back and cut that deficit down to 2 at the end. So that's a team that's in pretty good shape. Adia has raved about what he's done there so far with her program. So if I'm Brent, it's absolutely a conversation that you've got to have because you got a pretty good talent already there in the building.
I can promise Walter one thing. As soon as we know, you will know.
You will know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We appreciate your call there, Walter. All right, I want to get to our question of the day here real quickly. And we mentioned this last night. We talked a little bit about it. And that was the fact that there was a lot of football guys at the game last night. T-Mac was there. Jacob Manu was there. Manoa was there. Jonah Coleman was there. Jonah Coleman went into the transfer portal at 5 o'clock yesterday. He was at the basketball game, and they showed him on the Jumbotron. Not only did they show him on the Jumbotron, but they announced his name on the Jumbotron, which I thought was interesting considering that 3 hours earlier he'd gone into the transfer portal. But that's just me. So our question of the day, and we'll get more into this in the next segment, is the fact that the U of A, because I'm sure somebody controls all that, and somebody says, okay, yes, put Jonah Coleman on the Jumbotron. The fact that they put him on the Jumbotron and announced him 4 hours after he'd gone into the transfer portal, does that give you hope that the Cats' leading rusher will stay here and play for Coach Brent Brennan? Head on over to our Twitter page right now at Wildcats1290. We've got the poll up. You can vote on it there. You can comment on it there. You can also comment it on our Facebook page at Wildcats Radio 1290. I'll give you the early results on that here in just a few minutes. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Crickets and Crickets got tickets.
Yes, sir, I do. The Henderson Silver Knights in town this weekend to take on the Tucson Roadrunners. Oh, by the way, the first place.
First place.
Yes, first
Tucson
place.
Roadrunners.
Yes.
They are killing it right now. They won again last night against the Iowa Wild, swept that 2-game series. First place, Roadrunners.
Yeah, so these are some hot tickets. First place, Tucson Roadrunners at the TCC. I have 2 sets of 4 tickets for the games on Friday and Saturday night. So I'm going to give away the first set right now to caller 2 at 520-848-1290. So you can start skating for the blue line. 520-848-1290. Caller 2 is going to see the the first place Tucson Roadrunners and the Henderson Silver Knights on Friday night at 7. Good luck.
Ooh, man, that is something. So first place. And now we really have to go to the game because they're in first place now. Cricket.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes. So that's going to be fun. So now I understand you've got some other tickets you might be giving away later in the show, but I tried to pull it out of you before the show, but you just absolutely refused to tell me what it's all about.
Yep.
Why is that? You just
because I'm just being difficult.
You just being. What did I think? J-Dub termed you as mysterious.
Oh, that's nicer than difficult or stubborn. That's kind of nice.
Mysterious in reference to your tickets. We never know what kind of tickets you got falling out of your pockets.
Right.
Exactly. All right. Well, we'll see you back then in the 5 o'clock hour. But right now, we want to make sure that we get you home safely every 20 minutes on the 5. So Cricket, tell them what's going on out there on the road.
All right. From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. At Irvington and Park Avenue, there's some traffic signal upgrades till 6 tonight. No left turns at the intersection. Officers there to direct you through. Crashes reported Houghton and Golf Links in Craycroft, also Kolb Road and Sunrise Drive. 48 the low, 77, partly cloudy tomorrow, and 75 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. At Big O Tires, trust means an entire line of affordable tires drivers can depend on. Right now, get $100 instant savings on sets of Big O brand tires. See Big O Tires for details. With over 60 locations all over Arizona, you're never far from a Big O Tires, the team you trust.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcat fans, join head coach Adia Barnes and the Arizona women's basketball team in McHale Center this season. Season tickets are on sale now. You won't want to miss the fierce competition coming to Arizona. Season tickets are available now at ArizonaWildcats.com/WBK. Arizona women's basketball. Let's pack McHale Center.
Well, it's the first part of a new year, and some people are coming up with some pretty interesting New Year's resolutions.
I'm taking karate classes.
Hey, wait just a minute.
Let's get something really stupid tattooed on our butt.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why not make your New Year's resolution to always save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn? You'll not only save up to 40%, but there's also no city or state sales tax at Tobacco Barn because they're on the reservation.
I'm getting married to the first girl I meet. Hey there, sweetheart.
And you can save up to another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Let's try parachuting. Geronimo!
So save up to 40%, save with no city or state sales tax, and save up to another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. But maybe skip the skydiving. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody. QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 520-497-4955. That's 520-497-4955. 520-497-4955.
Okay, kids, we're home. Everybody out.
Ew, my feet are stuck.
In what, honey?
On the floor.
Ew. Take off your shoes. Tommy, come carry your sister into the house.
What do you do when the car you use the most has the least amount of time to get clean? Let Recon Auto Detailing, Arizona's premier auto detailing company, come to you and turn your busiest car back into your best. From basic cleaning to a full detail, Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Everyone is talking about the Cats and where to find them on the radio.
Wildcat Radio, 1290 AM on your dial, just talking all day long.
Keep your radio locked to 1290 so you don't miss any of the action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona Complete Health means more than health insurance to me. They're my healthcare partner. We get the care we need from doctors we choose, and even earn rewards for healthy things we're already doing. And with Marketplace, Medicaid, and Medicare options, I have coverage to protect my family's health wherever life takes us.
Arizona Complete Health, a plan for life. Visit planforlifeaz.com to find coverage that works for you.
DK DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, the first place Tucson Roadrunners are home. They won last night. They were home on Monday. They got a win. They were home last night against the Iowa Wild. They got another win. The Roadrunners right now are in first place in the Pacific Division of the American Hockey League. They are 23-11-1-1 on the season, and they have 48 points. They have a 1-point lead over Calgary, a 2-point lead over Ontario, and a 4-point lead over Coachella Valley. And they are home this weekend against the Henderson Silver Knights. 4 games on Friday and Saturday. Tickets from Cricket are going to Michael. Michael, you're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290. Congratulations. Are you a hockey fan?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
What's your favorite team? Do you have a favorite team that you follow?
It's going to be the local team, the Roadrunners.
There you go. Have you been to a Roadrunners game before?
I went last season. This will be my first time this season.
Oh, your first time this season. What did you like about it last year when you went for the first time?
The physicality. For sure.
Physical. Have you ever played hockey, Michael?
No.
Do you know how to ice skate? Because I don't know how to ice skate.
I have before. There used to be an isoplex off a speedway.
No, the isoplex. All right.
Yes.
Nice. So who are you taking to the game with you tomorrow or for Friday?
I'm gonna take my kids.
You're gonna take your kids?
Michael Jr., Sophia. How many tickets was it?
You get 4, so you can take 2 more people.
Yep.
You got a wife and a daughter too that want to go, or no? Just a son?
Yeah. The wife and daughter.
There you go. So it'll be a whole family affair. Make sure you take the kids down to see Dusty the mascot. I'm sure they'll love that.
For sure.
Outstanding. Well, Michael, make sure you get those tickets before 5 o'clock on Friday and enjoy the game Friday night.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. We appreciate you listening. Michael is going to see the Tucson Roadrunners and the Henderson Silver Knights on Friday night at the arena. Face-off is at 7 o'clock. The Silver Knights this year right now are in 6th place with 40 points. They are 18. It's a good division this year. It's a really good division, the Pacific Division. There are 10 teams. 8 of the 10 teams are over 500 this season. The only 2 teams that are not are San Jose and San Diego. So right now, 13 points separates 1 through 8 in the division. So it's been a good year so far. In the Pacific Division of the American Hockey League, and the Tucson Roadrunners right now are the hot team in first place by 1 point. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. A lot of things happening around the world of sports today. The Cowboys have said they're going to keep Mike McCarthy as their head coach. I know there's a lot of Cowboys fans out there. Are you happy about that? Let us know. 520-848-1290. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We are streaming this show, both audio and video. You can watch the program on a number of different platforms. You can watch this program on Facebook Live, Twitch, and or YouTube at Wildcats Radio 1290. You can also watch it on Twitter at Wildcats 1290. So head on over to one of those platforms to watch the show. You can access the audio of this program on our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. Also, I found out today, we're on the Odyssey app. See, there's things that I'm still learning 7 months into this thing. We're on the Odyssey app. We're on the iHeart app. We have our own app. So download our app, the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. You'll never miss a beat. There's great stories.
Is that app crap or what?
It is not crap.
Okay.
Right now. We finally got it slapping.
Cool.
It's slapping right now. Head on over to our app. There's a recap of the game last night. The Arizona Wildcats win over USC. I've got all the information on Brent Brennan's contract. We'll go over that before we're done. I've got a preview of tonight's game between the Canucks and the Coyotes. I've got the reaction from last night's Sun Devils loss to UCLA from Frankie Collins and Bobby Hurley. All of this, who is giving you all of this on an app here in Tucson? You know who? Nobody. But us. Nobody but us. So head on over to our app right now, and you can actually watch this show right now on our app. You can comment to us. There's 3 ways you can comment on our show. If you don't like to call up, you might not be that person that likes to call up to a talk show. That's fine. That's fine. Go to the app. You can send me a text message through the app. You can also record me an audio message through the app. You can also make a video message and send it to me through the app. So if you got anything on your mind, whether it's U of A football and the whole change of the coaching, and we'll get into that here in a second. If you've got thoughts on the Wildcat basketball team, if you think you know how they should try to best navigate these zone defenses that they're going through right now, make a video. Hold your phone up, make a video, go to the app. You can upload that video right to our app. In fact, text app, APP, right now to 520-848-1290, and I'll send you a link so you can download that app. All right, before we went to the break, I gave you the question of the day, so let's go back and review where we are with that right now. Does U of A, now if you were at the game last night, it was wild. It was just a wild night. It was a blackout, so everybody was wearing black, which kind of gave it a different vibe in the building. Good crowd, another close to 15,000 in the house. Bronny James was there. Bronny James' mom was there. Apparently, Savannah, I did not see that. I don't go down on the floor anymore because I don't shoot for TV anymore. So I shoot up high now because it's just a little bit better perspective for the type of video that I'm looking for what we post on our website and our social media platforms. But his mom was there. Kevin Durant was there. Miles Simon was there. Kadeem Carey was there. Bijan Robinson was there. Ooh, nope, that wasn't Bijan Robinson. Nope. That was Jamari Joyner. Welcome back, Jamari. Jamari Joyner of the New Orleans Bowl champion, Jacksonville. Gamecocks, I think they are. They are. The Jacksonville State Gamecocks, finishing out his college career out of Cienega High School by way of U of A. Went back down to play with Rich Rodriguez at Jacksonville State. I believe that is, I don't know that that's in Florida. I'm not even sure exactly. I think maybe it is in Florida, Jacksonville. Went back down to Jacksonville State to play for Rich Rodriguez and finished his career with a win in a bowl game. I believe that's the first FBS bowl game that Jacksonville State had ever won. It's in Alabama. Okay, mm-hmm. I didn't think it was in Florida. Okay, very good. So continuing that fine success of college football down in Alabama. But welcome back, Jamari Joyner. We'll have to see if we can get Jamari to come on the show. Now he's back at home. And I believe he was sitting, I don't know if he's gotten, I know he was, I saw him, I think he was down there with his fiance. I don't know if they've gotten married yet, but a young lady, I think she went to Cienega as well. Great couple. They've been together for a long time.
Just don't ask him how he feels about getting so close to 1,000 yards this year and
not quite getting there, yeah. Right? Exactly. He'd love to. And but speaking of Bijan Robinson, apparently there's a vote now going on for Rookie of the Year. Fans can vote for the Rookie of the Year. So we'll get that information out to you as well, how you can vote for Bijan Robinson for NFL Rookie of the Year. I'm not sure who all is in that race and if he is the possibility to win it, but you definitely want to support the local kid. All right, so last night, Jonah Coleman goes into the portal at 5 o'clock, into the transfer portal. He was one of 9 players that went into the transfer portal yesterday for University of Arizona. Of note, Raymond Polito is in the portal. He's in the portal, Jonah Coleman, and Keon Burnett was the other offensive name that went into the portal as well yesterday. Most of the other guys were backups and whatnot. But he goes to the game. He's hanging out. He's hanging out with the T-Mac and Jacob Manu and Tetro McMillan and Noah Fafita and they show him on the Jumbotron, which I thought was very interesting that you're showing somebody on the Jumbotron that's in the portal. Like this guy just went into the portal. No offense, we love him, but he's in the portal. So he's thinking about leaving. We're going to show him on the Jumbotron. And not only show him, but we're going to announce him. Hey, it's Arizona Wildcats leading rusher Jonah Coleman. I mean, that's exactly the way, I believe it's Jeff Dean is the PA guy's name. That's exactly the way Jeff Dean said it that last night. And so I'm walking out. It was just actually as I was walking out. I usually leave at the 12-minute mark to get back here to get ready for the show of the second half. And so I'm like literally like texting this on the way out. I was like, this is weird. Like I can't that made no sense to me that they would do that to a kid that was in the portal. But again, this is a different era in college sports right now. I mean, literally, I guess you're doing whatever you can to show these kids love.
Yeah.
And to get them to feel like this is the place they want to be.
You're going to leave this?
Right. You know, you're going to leave. I mean, and then he puts out a video. He puts out a video on one of his socials, Snapchat or TikTok or one of the ones I don't follow. And he's like, oh, my God, look at me. I'm sitting courtside. And guess who I'm sitting next to? Kevin Durant. I mean, maybe he's not leaving. I mean, if you're going to put that guy on the scoreboard, are you just trying to get him to stay, or do you know something that we don't know and that he's not really going to leave?
I got some bad news.
Oh, boy.
Kevin Durant originally lived in Seattle. That's where he got drafted. Oh. So there is a connection there as well.
Seattle.
Just saying.
No, I don't think that's close enough connection. So getting back to the question of the day, do you think that U of A showing and announcing Jonah Coleman on the Jumbotron at Wednesday night's game, men's basketball game, does that give you hope that the Cats' leading rusher will stay here in Tucson and continue to play for U of A under the new coach, Brent Brennan? Head on over to our Twitter page right now, Wildcats1290. You can vote in this poll. There are only two answers. Yes, it does give me hope that Jonah's going to stay. Do whatever it takes to get Jonah to stay. No, he's headed fishing. And that's fishing with a CH, not an S.
Better fishing probably up there in Puget Sound.
Yeah, right.
Down here, yeah.
Right now, 71% of the people saying yes, they believe that U of A showing Jonah Coleman on the Jumbotron gives them hope that he's going to stay here and play for the Arizona Wildcats. We'll just have to wait and see because there's rumors he's got a visit scheduled up in Washington. He's another guy very tight with Scotty Graham. Those guys loved Scotty Graham. Heck, I loved Scotty Graham. I'm sad Scotty Graham is not going to be the running backs coach here. I mean, that guy, but all those guys were good guys. I mean, all the assistants, they would generally all speak. Football coaches don't always speak when they see you, but Scotty always spoke. Kevin always spoke. Brennan was good about speaking. Chuck always speaks. Ricky speaks all the time. I mean, all those guys on that staff were pretty good guys. I mean, I've seen some staffs where guys just wouldn't give you even a nod, but that was not this staff that Jed put together. Rich Carrillo checks in. Coleman is headed to Seattle this weekend for some fun and games in Mont Lake and Pike Street. I suspect Jed will get a commitment. That's Rich Carrillo on Twitter. Also, Gilbert Rodriguez checks in. Sorry, it all still feels like doom and gloom for me still. Sorry you feel that way, Gilbert. How about Big 16 count of Arizona? He says, pay the man and keep him in Tucson. All right, so let's get to the pay the man part of this. And we're kind of running out of time on this hour, so we'll have to carry this conversation over into the 4 o'clock hour. But in terms of the pay the man part of this, Arizona saved some money on this contract that I'm holding. Don't you like in TV? I used to always think this was dorky. Okay, I worked in television for 12 years. I always think it's dorky when the reporters hold up stuff like, say, on this, I've got the documents right here where it says this. I never did that in a story. I never did it because I thought it was stupid. But there's that. Look, to each their own. If you want to do that, that's fine. Here is the contract for Brent Brennan. You can only see that if you're watching us on video. If you're listening on the radio, then that it made absolutely no sense to you. It's a 5-year deal worth $17.5 million. So the Wildcats, based on what we knew the extension was going to be for Jedd Fisch, looks like they saved about $2 million a year. So the immediate question you ask is, okay, where's that $2 million going? Where is that $2 million going? Well, maybe it's going to try to keep some of these kids on this current roster here in Tucson. Because now you got some play money. You got some play money that you can spread around in the collective to maybe some of these key players to sweeten the pot to get them to stay here in Tucson. This is what it is now, folks. This is college athletics right now. That extra $2 million you saved from letting Jedd Fisch walk out of the door, well, now you've got that available to potentially spread around.
I had to repress a boo. When you said this is college athletics now, I was like, my instinct goes to boo.
Yeah,
but I had to repress it.
I absolutely get it. I absolutely get what you're saying there. That's how a lot of people feel. That's how a lot of people feel. But that's the nature of the beast of where we are.
Change happens.
We're going to hear Brent Brennan, what he said yesterday. Damian Alameda asked from Channel 13, my guy, asked a great question about how you foster the team in this atmosphere of college athletics that we have today. It's DK on the Sports Tip. J-Dub is here. Cricket is here. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Slowdowns at Ajo and Mission, also backups for eastbound Grant Road approaching Columbus. Irvington and Park Avenue, traffic signal work till 6 tonight. No left turns and officers in the intersection to direct you through at Irvington and Park Avenue. Collisions for Sunrise Drive east of Craycroft and near Davis-Monthan at Golf Links and Craycroft. 48 the low, 77 partly cloudy tomorrow, and 75 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. During MVP's bonus days at Lowe's, save $250 when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch sliding miter saw and adjustable stand together. Because Lowe's knows savings, Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I can enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
You know, we've guaranteed our tires in every auto repair since 1960.
With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
Pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back. And check out the full page of promotions, discounts, and coupons at jackfurriers.com.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
The playoffs are here. Get all the action on the BetMGM app today. Take the excitement of football to the next level with same-game parlays, odds boost promos, and much more. Plus, every time you make a wager at BetMGM, you can earn BetMGM rewards points. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older only. Arizona only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair. With the new year, we usually make resolutions to be healthier. Water quality in your home can help you achieve healthy living goals. I'm Ron Arenas with Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. We offer solutions to filter the water in your house that you drink, shower, and cook with every day. For clean and healthy water, call 520-440-4069.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Football and Miller Lite, America's greatest pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Knocking on bar tops for luck. Kicking back on any given Sunday. You never forget the way some things taste. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Have you been charged with a crime you didn't commit? It happens more than you think. When your liberty is on the line, you need an experienced attorney that will aggressively fight for you. Lerner & Rowe Law Group handles DUI and all other criminal charges. And with our affordable payment plans, it's easier than you think to get the defense you need. If the police made a mistake, call Lerner & Rowe today. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to take your call.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Remember to tune in to Wildcats Radio 1290 for the biggest pregame show in the Pac-12. Because that's how we roll. We go on the air 4 hours before every football and men's basketball game all season long. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Remember, the one and only play-by-play home for Arizona Athletics is 1290. So if you're listening to Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball, you have it locked on 1290. Wildcats Radio 1290.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. I knew we could not put off getting life insurance. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $40 a month. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050 or go to SelectQuote.com now. That's 1-800-452-5050. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale is on with limited quantity deals on top tech. Save on select PCs powered by the latest 12th gen Intel Core processors like thin and light XPS 13 laptops, Inspiron laptops, and 2-in-1s. Plus, get savings on select accessories, free shipping, and monthly payment options with Dell Preferred Account. Save today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Hour number 2 on this Thursday. It is going to be a fun weekend here. Not just because Arizona is playing UCLA, but this is the first big race weekend here in Tucson. It's the Chili Willy 150 coming up on Sunday out of Tucson Speedway. Always a great race. There's going to be, I believe, over 30 cars on the oval this weekend out there. First big race of the year. It's kind of like, the Daytona 500 is first, like the Super Bowl of NASCAR is first. It's kind of like the same thing for us. This is the major race of the year is the first race out at Tucson Speedway.
It's 75 degrees today, but 56 is the predicted high with a 50% chance of rain on Sunday. So chilly is correct.
Boy. Oh, gosh. That's not good because you can't roll if it's raining. Too bad they can't bump it up to tonight. But practice will start out there. There's all kinds of stuff. They'll have practice. Actually, they believe they're having practices out there tonight. And it's 3 nights of racing. So they'll be racing Friday, Saturday, and then the big races on Sunday. So you can see racing the next 3 nights out at the Speedway.
You ever been to any of those?
Oh, yeah.
Big ones?
Yeah, I went out to the K&N when they had the K&N West
No,
Series.
not here. I meant like a
like a major,
Daytona,
no,
Indy.
I've never been to an actual Cup race. No, not even. I never got up to any of the ones in. Obviously, they have it up in Phoenix twice a year. Maybe I can do that now that I'm in this position. It just was not feasible when I was working in television to be able to do it.
86 Indy 500.
Oh wow, that's okay. That's open wheel, yeah.
Yeah, it was. My lasting memory was, I mean, I've been to a lot of sporting events, and I've never seen a crowd that big when the crowd was letting out after the event. It was just this massive humanity. I think it's like 250,000, something like that is what that place, and obviously it's a big, big area. But I mean, I was young. It was very loud, and it was very exciting. But yeah, my dad was heavily involved in the Daytona 24-hour race for a long time. He was on the medical crew there for a while, so he was big into racing.
Now they used to have a IndyCar race in Cleveland when I was there. What they did, so we have a downtown airport in Cleveland, and they would essentially turn that into an IndyCar track. Yeah. And they would race down there. It was usually around the 4th of July or sometime in July every summer. And so I'll tell a quick funny story about that. So I moved back to Cleveland in 1990, in the fall of 1996. So the summer of 1997, we're getting ready for its race week, and everything is starting to kind of get going. And I'm a producer for the radio station that I was working. This was I wasn't on air at the time. I was producing the morning talk show. So we go down to media day, and this guy approaches us, and he said, "Hey, I've got this great interview for you. You should talk to this driver, young girl. She's going to be great someday. She's going to be really good. She's just getting into open wheel racing. Blah 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 blah." It's like, okay, cool. So you know who that young lady was?
I could probably guess.
You could probably guess. Danica Patrick. It's amazing sometimes. It's like, oh, yeah, we had no idea who she was. I mean, she was just, like I said, she wasn't Danica Patrick at that particular point.
Right.
She was just some up-and-coming young racer. That's happened to me twice in racing. The other time it happened was when I worked in Bakersfield. And I was working at a radio station there, and the general manager says, "Hey, I want you to go out to the track," and they had a track very similar to the one we have here. He goes, "I want you to go out to the track and interview this 14-year-old kid. He's like, he's one of the best like go-kart racers in the city, blah 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 blah, And I at the time I really wasn't that into racing, but I went out there and I interviewed the kid. You know who that kid was?
Tell me.
Kevin Harvick.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Kevin Harvick.
I think, my experience is most people come up in that environment, right?
Yeah.
Family. I mean, because it's like you really kind of got to really experience those levels of speed and the decision making at that level early in life.
Yeah.
In order to be able to be accomplished at that later in life.
Yeah. So that's kind of funny. And interviewed both Kevin Harvick and Danica Patrick before they were actually, they were Kevin Harvick and Danica Patrick, but they really weren't Kevin Harvick and Danica Patrick at that particular time when they sat down for an interview.
They didn't have these in front of their name. Right. They didn't have the "the" in front of their name at that point.
Yeah, they didn't have the. That's a good way to put it, J-Dub. Very good way to put it. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. Shelly McGriff is actually running the Tucson Speedway now. I got to get with Shelly. We'll see if we can maybe get her on the program tomorrow. She's probably going to be hecka busy out there with everything going on, and see if we can maybe talk to her or one of the folks that's going to be racing this weekend. But Shelly McGriff is the wife of Herschel McGriff Jr., who is the son of Herschel McGriff Sr., who was inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame last year. I mean, this guy raced in the 40s and the 50s back in the day, and it was really interesting life. He raced on the Cup circuit when he was really young, but this was back in the day where you would race, maybe do some races, and then you would go home in the winter, and then if you wanted to go back and do it again the next year, you would. And, he was a young guy. He just got married. He was starting a family. And he's like, I don't know if I can go back and spend a whole summer racing down in the South. He was living out in Portland, Oregon. And so he just, and that was like the big thing I asked him. I was like, do you ever regret? Because he probably could have been, if he had stayed racing in the South, he'd have been as big as some of the names that we're familiar with, the Petties and all of those folks, because he raced against the Petties back in the day. But still, came out here, had a tremendous career on the West Coast and some of the West Coast series, and raced long enough that he was inducted into the Hall of Fame last year.
I'm not from that life, and yet I love the origins of NASCAR's. One of my favorite stories, a very American story.
Yeah.
Bootlegging and all that.
Bootlegging, exactly. Run and shine. So 3 days of racing coming up with the Chili Willy weekend out at this speedway. Get on out there. If you're going to be headed out there, give us a call. 520-848-1290. We'd love to hear what you're most looking forward to about this upcoming weekend. All right, I want to get back into the contract for Brent Brennan. I want you to hear some of the things he had to say yesterday. So we mentioned it's a 5-year, $17.5 million contract. His base salary is going to be $2.2 million for this year. Goes up to $3 million at the end of the 5th year, which would be the 28 season, at the end of the 28th season. And then he's got some peripheral compensation deals for events, his contract with Learfield. So you'll hear, that's him getting paid. That you hear there'll be the Brent Brennan show every Monday night. Will be on the station here, so he gets compensated for that. He's got a deal with Nike, and that all goes into that $17.5 million total. The other big number is the assistant coaching pool, which is $4.25 million per year for those 5 years that he can pay to his assistant coaches. And that's really the big thing, because he's got to be able to build a staff.
Big thing.
Yeah, and that's how he does that. Some other incentives that he has. Interesting. He'll get paid as long as he's still here. If he's here 2 years from now, if we're talking and he is still here in 2 years, he gets a $250,000 retention bonus. If he makes the college football playoff, he gets a $100,000 bonus for making the playoff. And then he gets bonuses for every round. If the Wildcats were to ever win the college football national championship, he would get a $400,000 bonus just for that round. But everything, he gets a bonus for every round. So, I think the total would be, looks like almost $1 million. So, essentially, he would get about $1 million more if they went through every level of the college football playoff and won that. He also gets a bonus if his team finishes in the top 10 in the rankings. That's just $40,000, though. But, again, if you're finishing in the top 10 in the rankings, you're probably getting some of that other big money at the top. So, not a bad deal, but again, a deal that the Wildcats saved money on compared to what they were going to have to pay Jed Fish. And so now you've got some extra cash in that collective to maybe spread around to some of these players like a Jonah Coleman to entice them to stay. In fact, I believe we got a caller off the air, J-Dub, that had some news maybe to share.
Yeah, I think we get a lot of callers calling in telling us that their friends told us some things about players staying.
Yeah.
So rumors are abound.
Yeah, so some lady, I believe, said that she believes the quarterback is staying.
That's what was told to me, yes, by a caller, said that the quarterback is staying according to a player.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, well, there you go. Noah Fafita potentially is not going anywhere. 520-848-1290. Let's talk to Tom. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
What's going on, guys?
Tom, how are you?
I'm good. So, as far as the Dallas deal, the coach didn't throw the interceptions.
That's true.
So I'm good with it. We'll just see what happens from here on out. It's the jinx that we've had for years. We just can't get out of the playoffs.
30 plus, right? Now going on something or close to 30?
Oh, I don't know what it is, but I think I've stopped counting. And like they say, wait till next year. But long-time fan, just hopefully before I die, which will be a long time from now, they'll get there. But yeah, no, I'm all right with that. Who else you gonna get? You gonna hire Saban or Harbaugh or no? I think we're all right with the decision.
Well, it looks like Bill Belichick is going to the Atlanta Falcons, so you can't hire him.
Yeah, he's getting his second
Well,
interview, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want Belichick. I don't know. He's a great coach, but I don't know. We don't need any deflated balls in Dallas, so But on the other thing, yeah, everything that's out there almost positive. Fafita and his receiving mate is probably going to stay. And with Jonah Coleman being at the game last night, if you were going to leave, would you go to a game with your buddies?
That's a great question. I mean, in the past, I don't know that I don't know that I've ever seen that before. That's why it was so interesting to me. It's like, oh, wait a minute, you're in the portal, but you're here, and not only are you here, but they're talking about you being here. It was a weird dynamic. I'd never seen that before.
Well, again, I think if you put your name in, doesn't mean you're leaving. And so if you put your name in the morning, if you put your name in the portal and you've got tickets to the game in the evening, there is a level of re-recruiting going on there as well. So it's not as if you think you're going to go into McHale and get booed.
Yeah, no, and then from what some of the shots I got and everything that showed Brennan, talking with those guys, and I just, I thought it's funny. I mean, if I was so upset that the football coach is leaving and I got a knee-jerk reaction, I'm going to get out of here, go to someplace better. I'll talk to Dorian Singer about that, but I don't. I see that as a positive, him being there with his buddies, because they're talking to him, and they're pretty much the big three. So I don't. I have a good feeling about it. Let's just say that.
All right. I mean, yeah, I think you should have a good feeling about it. I think that it's a positive that he wanted to be there with those guys. But again, it could have also been just somebody offered him front row seats, and he's like, "Well, I'm not going to turn this down." A chance to go sit courtside at a major college basketball game to
next
see
to
Brian
KD.
James, to be next to KD. I don't know if they knew KD was going to be there, but he certainly was geeked out when he realized that he was sitting next to KD.
Yeah, well, probably not. I mean, it was nice to see KD there. I mean, it's great that he comes here, whether it be to see Bronny or, or just see a good program or what. I mean, it's better that he shows up here and not at the ASU game.
Yeah, he's definitely a fan of good basketball, so he's going to be down here.
Tom, what would you say?
Yeah, that's what
Tom, what would you suggest to the Wildcats basketball team on how to effectively navigate zone defenses?
I don't know. More cuts maybe. Looking for different things instead of. But it's always been a trait of ours that where we can't, we don't do well against the zone. We still score points, but it slows us down enough to take us out of our game. So I don't know. I'm sure Lloyd will coach him up, but
get the ball in the middle.
It's kind of tough. I mean, look at some cuts, get it in the middle. Ball needs to assert himself more, and I mean, look at other teams that we played a zone. It takes everybody out of the game if they don't. I'm sure you could practice it, but that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Just changing a few things up, They did seem to, later in the game, kind of get a hold on it. But, oh, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We'll just have to see what plays out with that.
Tom, hey, we appreciate you checking in today. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks. Bye. Bear down.
All right, bear down indeed. Getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather. Here's Cricket.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions reported Broadway and Harrison, Alvernon and 5th Street, Kolb Road north of I-10, La Cholla and Star Pass, and also Golf Links and Craycroft. And we're seeing some busy travel eastbound Grant at Columbus, also westbound Grant, westbound Speedway, both approaching I-10. 48 the low, 77 partly cloudy tomorrow, and a 76 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex DM 12 Hour.
We've been driving for 6 hours, and I haven't coughed once.
You took Mucinex DM 12 Hour. It gives you 12 full hours of cough and chest congestion relief.
So you got another 6 hours of me singing road trip songs.
Yay.
Buy Mucinex DM 12 Hour. Use as directed.
Tucson, we have something free just for Wildcats fans living in Tucson. You can now catch all the play-by-play action of Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball, and no charge on your smart speaker. Ask it to play Wildcats Radio 1290.
Are you curious about QC Kinetics? Let me tell you what we do.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a medical director at QC Kinetics.
We treat people who have joint pain, and we use your body's healing properties, the things that you already have in you, in your blood, to heal your knee pain, your joint pain, your shoulder pain, your back pain. You have everything that you need in you already.
The same natural process that heals a cut on your finger also works inside your body.
And so what we do at QC Kinetics is take those healing properties, concentrate them down from your body, and put them where they need to go. We are the experts in regenerative medicine. That's all we do.
And best of all, there's no surgery, no downtime, or harmful drugs.
This is the future of medicine.
And your consultation is completely free. Call QC Kinetics, 520-497-4955. That's 520-497-4955. 520-497-4955.
The Visit Tucson Desert Showcase returns as CF Montreal and Minnesota United collide in an MLS preseason showdown Saturday, January 27, 6 p.m. at Keno North Stadium. Single tickets start at only $16. Go to fctucson.com or call 520-600-3095.
Westwood One is the only place for exclusive audio coverage of every NFL postseason game. Hi, this is Scott Graham. Join us throughout the month of January and into February as we bring you Super Wildcard Weekend, the Divisional Round, Championship Sunday, and of course Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. All 13 NFL playoff games are on Westwood One. If it's the NFL playoffs, it's right here.
Savings and Selection 100 is going on right now at O'Reilly Chevrolet because we have selection, we have savings, and we have over 100 trucks, including Chevy Silverados, the #1 selling full-size pickup in Arizona. See them all at O'Reilly.com. Call 747-8000 or test drive one today on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads during Savings and Selection 100 at O'Reilly Chevrolet. More than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
See dealer for details.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & Kay is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. Live RockandK.com. Designed by nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The American Red Cross is facing an emergency blood shortage as the nation's blood supply has dropped to critically low levels. Blood and platelet donations are needed now for people counting on life-saving care after accidents, surgeries, and those facing critical treatments for cancer and sickle cell disease. You can take action today. Make an appointment to give blood. To book a time, use the Red Cross Blood Donor app. Visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule your appointment.
DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
Working on my hockey link.
You're doing that. You're learning quick.
Do you know what icing is?
I love icing. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, it's the best part of hockey, isn't it?
Don't miss out on all the fun.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why does 1290 run this town?
It's simple. 1290 is the only radio station that can bring you Thursday, Sunday, Monday Night Football, the NFL playoffs, and the Super Bowl. Scoreboard 1290.
This is the home of the Wildcats.
This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We're going to be talking with Kayla Wilkins from the Arizona women's tennis team coming up for you straight ahead later in this hour. The ladies coming off a couple of wins to start their spring campaign, knocked off the Grand Canyon Antelopes as well as UC San Diego. That was in a tournament up at GCU. This past week. And so we'll talk to Kayla. She is a graduate student now playing in her final season for the ladies. And we'll get a sense of what Ryan Stotland has on his team this year as they try to go for a chance to make the NCAA tournament. They came close a few years ago, 21-22, the 22. So that would have been 2 years ago. They finished 17-11 overall, one of the better seasons they've had on the women's tennis side in a long time, but they came up just a tad short of the NCAA tournament, did not make the field, and then took a step back, unfortunately, last year, and now looking to rebound this season off to a good start. But the Pac-12 is always a very difficult place to play tennis, so they've got some work to do as they go down the road to their season this spring. Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers, are proud to support University of Arizona men's basketball. This week, the Wildcats are home, continuing their conference schedule. A win over the Southern California Trojans last night, and Saturday will be the final appearance by UCLA here at the McHale Center. Tip-off is scheduled for 2 o'clock. Once again, our coverage will begin at 10 a.m. with the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to tip-off show. Not sure if there are any tickets left, but if you want to go to the game, you can certainly call the ticket office over at McHale Center, 621-CATS, 621-CATS, or visit ArizonaWildcats.com. I'm going to pull up StubHub here, obviously, just to see what's out there. And there's still a lot of tickets for this game. You can, again, be in row 42 for $39, row 43 for $39. I see row 119 for $42. So, $50 will get you into the building. I'm surprised, J-Dub, that either these are people selling these seats to maybe try to take advantage, but it's not like you're selling them for a whole lot. I would think if you're trying to sell these, if you own these seats and you're trying to sell them for the money, you'd be selling them for a whole lot more than $45. That would be my thought.
I think Arizona UCLA is always going to be Arizona UCLA, and Cronin's group over there, they've won a couple in a row, but they also, what did they lose, like 8 out of 9 right before that? It's a very, very young team. The past 3 or 4 years have had some incredible battles. Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Tiger Campbell are not there anymore, right? And I think the event for those longtime Arizona Wildcat fans and those here in Tucson who've been around for many of these battles is going to be the culmination of the end of an era. And for a lot of other people, I think the casual fan looking at the two teams and the records, maybe they don't expect it to be a great game, and maybe that's what you're seeing.
There's some zone floor seats I'm looking at opposite the visitors' bench in section 16. That's lower 16. For 170, I mean, that's not too bad. For 110 for section 1, that's section 1 floor zone. I mean, so there's some affordable seats out there if you want to get your tickets on one of those third-party sites like StubHub for this big matchup between the Bruins and the Wildcats on Saturday. All right, I want you to hear the two questions that I asked to head coach Brent Brennan at yesterday's press conference. We, in fact, are going to get a chance to talk at length with the head coach tomorrow. So we will have that for you. I'll have more information. We're going to carry that live tomorrow at around 12:40 in the afternoon, our one-on-one interview opportunity with the head coach of the new head coach of Arizona football, Brent Brennan. That'll be tomorrow. So join us here about 12:40 in the afternoon. It'll be about everybody's getting around 10 minutes with the coach tomorrow. That'll be our slot. We'll carry that for you live right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. We'll also replay it for you tomorrow during DK on the Sports Tip. But did have a chance to ask him a couple questions yesterday, and here is what I asked him.
Brent, David Kelly from Wildcats Radio 1290. Two questions. How would you describe the disappointment of not getting this job 3 years ago? And then in terms of, coming here now, what was the first lesson that Dick Tomey taught you?
Well, I think when we were here, 23 years ago, we really liked it. We thought we knew it was a special place, kind of a place that you always hoped you could get back to somehow. You don't always know how that works, and you don't always know if you're going to have a chance to in the profession. But 3 years ago was a tricky one. I was certainly disappointed, right? The place, you guys know how special it is. If you guys didn't think it's special, you guys wouldn't all be here. You know what I mean? The place is really special. So there was disappointment, but there was also I had to get a team ready. It's like the middle of COVID. I had to get a team ready for a bowl game. It was we were laughing about it last night. There's just it was a really messy week in terms of our team, San Jose, all those things. And but the truth of the matter is, I think I was at a great place and I had a great job, and this was a great place that I was interested in, that I had a chance to interview for. And I think if you want to talk about Coach Tomey, the harder it gets, the better we play. Okay, I didn't get it, but I need to keep doing a good job at San Jose State so that at some point down the road I might have a chance to go back there. And that's what I thought of. The first lesson he taught me, oh man. The team. Yeah, thanks. That's why she's here. All right. Courtney Brennan, let's go. All right, babe. You're hired. But yeah, absolutely. It's always about the team, which I know is a Bo Schembechler, part of Coach Tomey's journey was, GAing for him. And so, and I think that's a hard thing to create in today's college football. Right? I think that's one of the things that gets most challenging, because you have, this guy's making more money than this guy's thinking about going, this guy's thinking about staying. It is complicated, but I think the guys that you see having the most success are the guys that do a great job at building the team.
The team. That is probably, I think, of all the Dick Tomey isms, that's probably one of my favorites. It's
one of my favorite Dr. Seuss books too.
Dr. Seuss did a book. Wait, what was the Dr.
He just was all about rhyming. So the team. That's just a little Dr. Seuss joke there for all the Dr. Seuss fans out there.
Ah, I see. Yes, I was a Dr. Seuss fan back in the day. That was good stuff. Good stuff in there. All right, so you heard him say fostering the team mentality. And there was a follow-up question that our buddy Damian Alameda over at Channel 13 asked him about how do you foster that team dynamic in today's NCAA college football culture that is so transient, with players just up and leaving on a whim?
We worked really hard at that over time, and honestly, Coach Tomey was a lot of the foundation for that. Not just the team, but Coach Tomey was the first head coach I was ever around that actually did active team building, and got football players together and in small circles and breakout sessions and talking about really intense stuff. And what it did was it built connection. Right, guys found common ground, and over the years I've sat in so many of those circles, and it's amazing because in order to play for each other and to really put in the work that it takes to be good at football, like they have to care about each other, right? And how do you get them to care about each other? They have to know each other on a deeper level. It can't just be like, what's up, dude, in the locker room. It's not enough. And so you have to get them talking about real stuff so they get to know each other. And so we've done a bunch of team building, a lot of really fun exercises. At San Jose, we've done them on Friday nights before a game with the team, we've also done them, throughout the whole off season. And it's Nancy, I would say it's a collection of. It started with Coach Tomey's stuff, but over the years I've talked to lots of other head coaches and built it out from there. And it's been a really good thing for us in terms of the guys getting to know each other, because it is getting harder to do that. It is getting harder. But I think also if the person up in front is ultimately committed to it, it has the best chance for it to be successful. And that's what I am.
It's interesting. It sounds like very much like something that Kelvin said maybe a few weeks ago, a month ago, when we were in football mode, when he talked about when he first got to the football program from basketball, how there was just no connection. The guys were not connected. Guys would be in the locker room and they wouldn't be interacting with each other, and how he immediately wanted to try to foster that, because he understood that, you can't win if we're not together. We can't win when we go out there on any given Saturday.
It's helpful to get snowed in for 24 hours sometimes.
Yeah, right? Like those people in Buffalo right now. Have you seen the pictures of that?
No. I mean, I have, yes. And that's why we all live here. Right?
Yeah. I would not want to be. I've often told people there was one place I would never accept a job, and that's Buffalo. I would never go to Buffalo to work. That's like no place I ever want to live. More power to Buffalo. For anybody from Buffalo, I know a lot of people, and I know we got a lot of guys here that played in Buffalo. John Fina, Glenn Parker, great people there. I would not want to live there.
Upstate New York is beautiful when it's
not
doesn't
under
have
snow.
8 feet of snow on the ground. Yes.
Right. I've heard that. I've been up there a couple times, but yeah, I would not want to be there at this time of year. No way, no how. All right, we're going to talk to Kayla Wilkins next from Arizona Women's Tennis. Getting you home every 20 minutes, though, on the fives. She's got tickets coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. I don't know to what. She'll tell us. I'll find out when you find out. Right now, though, here's Cricket with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With reported collisions, Speedway and Kolb Road north of I-10, Broadway and Harrison, and also La Cholla and Star Pass. And backups Ajo and Mission, southbound La Cholla at Ajo Way, and more slowing westbound Speedway at I-10. Weather-wise, overnight, 48 the low, 77 partly cloudy tomorrow, and 76 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt Tax Services, home of the Money Today guarantee. Can't wait weeks for your tax refund? Then don't. At Jackson Hewitt, get money today if you're approved for a no-fee refund advance loan on a prepaid card. Book today at jacksonhewitt.com. No-fee refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
You are sitting in an intersection right now, doing a little daydreaming about how you would like a new truck. Well, you can make your dream a reality right here at O'Reilly Chevrolet. You know, the place the jingle's about.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Happy New Year, guys. That was right in my ear.
Oh, good. I see you're doing the whole baby New Year costume with the diaper and the sash.
Time to make resolutions. I resolved not to look at you dressed like that. People should start the new year by fixing up their heating and air system.
That's true. Alaskan AC can fix the stuff other companies can't.
Again, right in my ear. Plus, the Grizzly.
Right. The Grizzly is our custom-built AC made to take a chomp out of Arizona summers.
Still winter, guys. And we can fix up heaters to save our customers gobs of money. Gobs.
We believe in fixing before replacing.
What's a gob?
An Alaska-fied system is one that will last longer
and is guaranteed to be repair-free for an entire year. Woohoo! I swear, one more time with that thing.
Good resolution, Gary. Let's get out there and help people fix up their systems and save some real money.
All right. Probably should have told him to put some clothes on first.
Yeah.
Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
You want to protect her. You'll give anything to make sure nothing harms her. Every minute together makes unforgettable memories. Except that time you parked her under that tree and...
Oh, come on, man. Really?
Sorry, we'll never speak of it again. But remember who came to her rescue? Recon Auto Detailing. Arizona's premier auto detailing company comes directly to you. We'll make your masterpiece shine like it should, and with a monthly maintenance package, we'll keep it that way. Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
The playoffs are here. Get all the action on the BetMGM app today. Take the excitement of football to the next level with same-game parlays, odds boost promos, and much more. Plus, every time you make a wager at BetMGM, you can earn BetMGM rewards points. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older only. Arizona only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Make sure you download or update the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. We've got the entire state covered like no other sports radio station in southern Arizona. Plus, when you have the app, you can cover U of A sports with Wildcats Radio 1290 anywhere and everywhere you go and out of town, too. The mountains, the beach, working out, or maybe even...
Oh, no. Turn that off.
Download or update the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today and never miss a moment of sports analysis. Well, maybe an occasional moment. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The American Red Cross is facing an emergency blood shortage. More donors are urgently needed now to ensure blood is ready at a moment's notice. Make an appointment today to give. Use the Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule your donation.
We get you so close to McHale, it sounds like the Arizona Pep Band is riding in your back seat.
What the hell is going on?
This is the home of Arizona men's basketball. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Let's talk some Arizona women's tennis. The ladies got things off to a great start this past week for the 2024 season up in Phoenix, actually, up at Grand Canyon. A couple of wins over UC San Diego and Grand Canyon. Pleased to be joined by one of the leaders of the Arizona women's tennis team, Kayla Wilkins. And Kayla, this is the last go around for you, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, it is the last season. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely. What has this experience been like for you? I mean, you came here obviously during your freshman year, I believe, was the COVID season. And so you kind of had to play your early years through that. Let's just walk back to what that was like your first year, because I believe you guys were kind of maybe at the beginning of your season when everything kind of started transpiring, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Yeah, we had only played one Pac-12 match that year before everything was kind of shut down and everyone went home. So, it wasn't until really my sophomore year that I got the full, Pac-12 swing, got a bunch of those matches in, and I really got the full season in.
So what was that sophomore year like for you guys coming back? And obviously things are still a little bit distant, but you guys are out there practicing. I would imagine you might have still been taking some of your classes, remotely. How would you describe that year?
Definitely strange, as I'm sure it was for everyone, whether that was in college athletics or not. But yeah, we came back. All classes were online. Really, we just came to campus for, workouts in the gym and on-court training, and that was really it. We were tested twice a week prior to traveling, and the bubble was really just women's tennis, and that's all really, we were surrounded with to keep, to make sure we were, staying healthy and following the precautions. So.
And then obviously your junior year, things start to clear up, and you guys have a really good season. That year. What was kind of that like for you to kind of be as someone who was playing a lot primarily, and then for this program to kind of start to have some success under Ryan Stotland?
Really cool. I mean, I loved, initially coming to Arizona. I came here because of the coaches and Ryan, and he's a really great tennis coach and really cares about you as an individual, and wants you to do be the best player you can be and the best person you can be, and he wants that for each individual and for the team. So to be able to see this program grow and to be a part of that has been really special.
I know you guys kind of had the disappointment that year of not making the tournament. I think I was actually there that day when they were at the selection show, and some of the folks were there watching. How big a disappointment was that in 22 not to make the NCAA tournament?
Definitely disappointing. I mean, that's the tournament all teams want to make. Everyone wants to be in that postseason and compete for a national title. So disappointing for sure, but there's always been a lot of positives to take away from each season, and there's definitely been a ton of growth. So I know this season, we have a really amazing team, and I'm just super excited and really confident going into this season.
Kayla Wilkins from Arizona Women's Tennis is our guest, graduate student now from Charlotte, North Carolina. Would you get your undergrad degree in, Kayla?
I got it in information science and technology.
And what are you now studying in grad school?
Statistics and data science.
And what do you want to do with all that?
Well, I'm hoping to do something in data analytics and specifically, hopefully, in sports analytics. So that's the goal.
And I guess, in terms of sports analytics, would that be maybe something along the lines of with a team, or what would that potentially be?
Yeah, hopefully, with a team or agency, and just analyzing the performance side of any stats and analytics from games, practices, that type of thing.
Where's tennis taken you in your life? Have you had a chance to travel a lot to play the game?
In juniors, I traveled primarily, within the southern region with a couple tournaments out in California. And then, of course, with coming to Arizona and playing college tennis, I've been able to travel to a lot more places. And so that's been a really cool experience, and a big reason for, coming out here and trying something new, to be able to see different places and just experience something completely different than back home.
And what did you kind of like about the way things went in the initial two matches against San Diego and GCU?
Really a lot of positives. So really pleased from the first two matches. First couple matches of the season are never easy. And there's always, some nerves and things of that nature. And I haven't played under, match conditions in a while, but really, really happy with the matches. The energy from everyone was incredible. Just the team is a really great team this year, and so we competed, we battled hard, and just super excited for what's to come for us.
Now, you won the Bear Down Award last year. What's that all about? Tell the folks what that actually was about.
So the Bear Down Award is given to one individual athlete on each team that best represents the university and the Arizona athletics program and the Bear Down spirit. And so I was awarded that by my my coaches, and super special to receive that because this program and this university has given me, so many opportunities and just been an incredible experience. So to represent the program and Ryan Sotland's team with to be able to represent it in a way that's just fulfills that bear down spirit means a lot to me.
How's Ryan as a coach? Is he like a fun guy? Is he really serious all the time? How would you describe him?
No, he's a lot of fun. He's a really, really great coach, and he's helped me so much these last 5 years, growing on and off the court. So I'm really grateful to have had him as my coach in college tennis, and he's helped me see the game in different ways and grow with with the way I view matches and how to look at strategies in a different way. And so he's helped in that regard a ton, and then he's also helped me a ton with the mental side of the sport too, and I just think that's just equally as important. So
all right, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Colton Smith last week. Are you playing pickleball yet?
Yeah, actually, I play with a little bit back when I'm back home in North Carolina, and then I also play with my teammate Tom V here. We play sometimes with her friends who actually started the pickleball club here at Arizona.
Oh wow, there's a club. So there's a club team.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We might have to talk to some of those people. Yeah, Colton didn't want anything to do with pickleball, so he's like, I'm not playing that. What do you like about it, though? What do you like about it?
It's super fun. It's in some ways still kind of similar, but in other ways it's like very different to tennis, and the quick reactions is fun. And I guess just I love sports, but when we're playing pickleball, it's all fun. It's not, we're not playing here for really anything more than just like the pure enjoyment and fun. So there's no pressure, nothing going on in that way. So.
And I always like to ask the tennis players, because college tennis is very interesting in that, once you get to 4, everything kind of stops. You don't necessarily always play and finish your matches. Does that stink to not, like, if you're right in the middle of a match and you're all into it and all of a sudden your team either wins or loses at 4, that you don't get to finish your match?
Yeah, it definitely does. And everyone has a ton of those matches. One of the freshmen this weekend, she came off the court and she was all upset that she couldn't finish both of her singles, and I was like, "Well, welcome to college tennis."
That's because I knocked my girl out 6-3, 6-4. So
Yeah, so it's really weird, but some days it's when you're up, of course, everyone wants to finish, and then if you're having a rough day, sometimes it's not as bad. But when the team gets the win and you can move on.
Hey, Kayla, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. Best of luck this season. Looking forward to watching you young ladies play out there at the Robson Center.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Kayla Wilkins, the ladies have a busy weekend coming up at the Robson Tennis Center. They've got 4 matches that are going on. They're going to play twice tomorrow and twice on Saturday. They'll play BYU tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Then they'll take on the Michigan State Spartans tomorrow evening at 5. And then they're going to play the Spartans again on Saturday morning at 11. And then they'll wrap up this weekend against the Missouri Tigers at 2 o'clock. So 4 really good matches to get on out and see at the Robson Tennis Center. I don't know that this is a tournament. They haven't labeled it as any type of a tournament, but clearly some good teams coming in here this weekend to play tennis, and a great chance to get out there and support the ladies. It's always fun to get out at the Robinson Tennis Center and watch some good action right there. 520-848-1290 is the number. If you want to get in on the program, we mentioned that gymnastics won their first opening match last week. And not only did they win, finishing, I think it was a quad, not only did they win, but they posted their highest score ever for an opening meet, did Arizona Gymnastics. And never before had they posted anything higher than a low 196, but they finished 196.475 in their first meet. They are also home this weekend at McHale Center on Sunday at 1 o'clock. The ladies will take on Sacramento State. So a busy home weekend on the Arizona front in terms of we've got basketball on Saturday at McHale Center. We've got tennis Friday and Saturday out at the Robinson Tennis Center on the ladies' side. And then you've got gymnastics on Sunday. That will start at 1 o'clock against Sacramento State. So get on out and support those ladies as well. Lots of good stuff going on. Have you ever been to a Gym Cats match, Mr.
It's been a minute.
Madden?
Yeah, I have, but it's been a minute.
Okay. Fun stuff out there. Fun stuff. There's 4 rotations that are usually going on at one time. There's the floor exercise, which has always been one of my favorite. The beam gets me a little scared at times because, you got girls jumping on the beam, trying to balance on the beam. But I don't know if there's a young lady, she's a senior, one of the seniors, Jessica Castles. She does this, it's called a wolf turn. And I don't know if you've ever seen the wolf turn that Jessica Castle does, but it's pretty incredible. That's worth the price of admission on its own, just to see Jessica do her wolf turn.
Did you know I was a classmate of Carrie Strug?
No, I do believe you mentioned that once before, yes.
She was a grade under me. She had already gone to Dallas to do the training out there. But when I was a senior in high school was the year that the famous first gold happened. So she would have been a junior. But so, I mean, same high school. I don't know where her degree came from, but I never saw her there. I mean, I met her a few times. I remember she came back to school for, after all the events and whatnot. But yeah, that's my gymnastics connection.
She was the original homeschooler. Right?
The original
homeschooler back in the day. All right, 5 o'clock hour is coming straight ahead. We're going to let you hear our interview with Nancy Tomey that we did, the wife of the late, great Dick Tomey, and getting her thoughts on Brent Brennan taking over the football program that her husband once ran, and now it is in the hands of one of his proteges. It's DK on the Sports Tip. Also in the 5 o'clock hour, Crickets got more tickets. Listen for the cue to call. You may be going to a very fun sporting event this weekend. JW Madden, Cricket. I'm David Kelly. It's DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With reported collisions, Broadway and Harrison, Speedway and Kolb Road north of I-10, La Jolla and Star Pass also clearing. We've got 48 as the overnight low, 77 partly cloudy tomorrow, and a 74 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new Cravings Value Menu is a big deal. Or rather, it's 10 big deals. From new items like the loaded nachos to familiar favorites like the spicy potato soft taco. Check it out at a participating Taco Bell today. Available for a limited time only while supplies last.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. This should come as no surprise whatsoever, but Jerry Jones finally found a mic. Actually, a pen and paper, or somebody did for him. But in a written statement, made the announcement they're going to run it back. Hey, Jera, Feel free to never learn. Signed the rest of the NFC East. Signed the rest of the NFL. Signed every single person who loves watching the Cowboys fail. War making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again, yet expecting different results. Am I right, Jera? It's really not surprising at all that Big Mike is coming back. But that's sort of the problem, right? It's that same nonsense over and over again. Just more of Jera's delusional nonsense. Nonsense like, we are very close. Based on what barometer? You weren't very close last year, and you're even further away now than you were then with an earlier exit. What do you mean you're very close? Very close to what? Printing more money?
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-Do.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Our free 2024 Gold Investment Guide isn't just a collection of tips. It's a treasure map to possible wealth in a shifting economy. We've distilled expertise and insights into this comprehensive guide, tailored for both newcomers and veteran investors. Ride the wave of gold to unprecedented heights. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 for your free guide. Call 800-900-8000 now.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I can enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
You know, we've guaranteed our tires in every auto repair since 1960.
With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
Pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back. And check out the full page of promotions, discounts, and coupons at jackfurriers.com.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
I often get asked, how can Lerner & Rowe effectively handle DUI and criminal cases when you guys are a personal injury law firm? The answer is simple. We're good at it. Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a separate law firm from Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys, and we have some of the most experienced criminal defense attorneys available, including one of only a few certified criminal attorneys in Arizona who have handled thousands of criminal and DUI cases. And we offer affordable payment plans. Getting the defense you need is one phone call away.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Good news, everybody. We stay on the air with you for an extra 2 hours after every Arizona football and men's basketball game all season long. That's why we are the home of the Wildcats. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Final hour of the program on this Thursday. I've been telling you about all the great stuff coming up this weekend. It is a cavalcade of events on campus. For the University of Arizona, we don't want to leave out the men's tennis team. They're also playing this weekend. The men will be playing on Sunday opposite the gymnastics going on at McHale Center. The men will take on Baylor. So a Big 12 preview matchup. Shout out to Jay Friend from the Arizona men's tennis team. Jay is the Pac-12 Player of the Week this week. 34th ranked in the nation. Went undefeated in the Wildcats match last week against UC San Diego. They won their opener 4-0. He plays doubles with Colton Smith, who we had on the show last week. They are the 11th ranked doubles team nationally. And they won 6-2, 6-0 in their morning match and then 6-2, 6-1 in their afternoon match. So shout out to Jay Friend, the Pac-12 Player of the Week in men's tennis this week. Jada, we never talked about yesterday because it came out and there was a lot going on, and I wanted to get to this on the postgame show, but we did not, was the 3 additions to the men's basketball Ring of Honor that have been announced. Bennedict Mathurin is going to be honored this weekend. So obviously the Pacers, I would imagine, are off. And so Ben is going to be in town for the game on Saturday. He'll be inducted into the Ring of Honor this weekend. Then on February the 17th for the Arizona State game, it's going to be Christian Koloko. And then on March 2nd, which I believe is the final home game of the season against Oregon, it's going to be Kenny Lofton into the Ring of Honor.
We also didn't mention Mr. Koloko got waived actually yesterday by the Toronto Raptors.
Oh, did he really? I did not see that.
The Raptors made a big trade with Ben Mathurin's team for Pascal Siakam, and they made room and they waived. That's not to say that Koloko won't find himself on his feet somewhere with another NBA team, but yeah, that news did come out yesterday as well.
Not good to hear that. But,
no.
And I was wondering because I hadn't really heard much about him yet this year. Hadn't heard much about him so far, and had wondering like what his playing time was like this season.
I think it's more
in his second year.
It's more of an indication of what the GM's been doing up there. They had a really weird philosophy in Toronto where they had nothing but 6'8", 6'9" defensive wings, and so that roster construction has been a little odd. He was the only 7-footer that they even had on that group, but I think his skill set certainly is something that a lot of NBA teams are looking for. So I would not be surprised to see him catch on with somebody else real soon.
Christian Koloko, in his career, played in 58 games so far in his career. He's played in 58 games, averaging 3 points and 3 rebounds in those games. It doesn't look like I'm not sure he played at all this year. This might be, these are his stats from last year I'm looking at. Yeah, he hasn't played in a game for them this season in Toronto.
The thing is that there's news that he may have a bit of a blood clot issue. And so his health obviously is first and foremost concerned. So I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on the radio. And healthy, obviously, let me preface what I said earlier. If he's healthy, and hopefully he can get healthy soon. But first and foremost, DK, congratulations to those 3 for making the Ring of Honor. Well deserved. I'll put it that way for all 3 of those guys for different reasons. My day, that's your guy, Kenny Lofton. But man, I remember when I was younger watching him go baseline to baseline. I still to this day think that I've never seen a player suit up in an Arizona jersey that was faster baseline to baseline than Kenny Lofton.
Well, and it's interesting when you talk about the qualifications of what gets you into the Ring of Honor, and I'll list those off here. First team All-American, recognition by one or more of the major national organizations or media. Major National Player of Distinction, so Player of the Year, Wooden Award, or National Championship Most Valuable Player or Outstanding Player distinction. Pac-10-12 Player of the Year or Pac-10-12 Freshman of the Year. Arizona career leader in 3 or more major positive categories at the conclusion of your college career must hold the career record for a minimum of, it doesn't, that part is cut off, so I'm not sure exactly what the minimum was. And then Olympic medalist is one. And then 10 plus years in the United States, in a United States major professional league, NFL, NBA, WNBA, Major League Baseball, or being selected as an all-star, all-pro for the official league that you played in. So Kenny Lofton obviously played basketball here at the University of Arizona, but he's being inducted into the Ring of Honor for his legacy as a baseball player, having played 10 plus years in the major leagues and been a six-time Major League All-Star. 17 years, six-time Major League All-Star, 4 Gold Gloves for Kenny Lofton. So I don't know that he ever qualified for any of the other basketball categories. He's going into the Ring of Honor as a basketball player for what he did in Major League Baseball. That's an interesting twist, too. And he'll be the first in the basketball Ring of Honor to have that moniker. None of the other players qualified in a sport outside of basketball.
Yeah, he was, at the time, maybe a little undersized, I think, to pursue a career in basketball. He was a spotty shooter, as I recall. But as far as defenders go and getting underneath dribblers and whatnot,
he was that pest, huh?
Oh man, the pestiest pest. And as we talked about during one of our pre or post games, that Foot Locker slam dunk contest, Kenny Lofton had, he must have had like a 45-inch vert, something ridiculous like that. Because some of his breakaway dunks, he was famous for his double pump reverse, and he was a lefty. Just everything about Kenny Lofton, and clearly he played along with Steve Kerr, Sean Elliott, all those guys in that late '80s era. But I mean, you would probably be the one to tell Tucson more about his exploits on the baseball field, being that he played his career mostly with the Tribe.
Well, it's interesting because having been a college student during that era, one of the things that I remember about Kenny Lofton as a basketball player is he could leap out of the gym. And he took that ability to leap out of the gym onto the baseball field.
He robbed a few home runs in his day, for sure.
He did do that. He did do that indeed. So I pulled up the actual release. So I wanted to see what that must hold the career record for a minimum of 5 years. So actually, because I think, and I'll have to go to the book here just to check, but one of his U of A legacies is that he finished his career as the program leader in steals. He had 2,000 steals, recorded 67 his senior season. That was a single season program record. The program record at the time had been, or he had actually, set the program record the year before with 38. And that was on the team that advanced to the Final Four. He also finished his career with 618 points, 329 assists, and shot 37% from three, and helping the Wildcats win 3 Pac-12, Pac-10 back then, regular season championships in 86, 88, and 89, and back-to-back tournament championships in 88 and 89. So I'm wondering if he still is leading, is the all-time career leader in steals, because that might be the basketball stat that qualifies him, if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, he also played behind a lot of really good guards. So, I mean, as far as those numbers are concerned, would have been elevated quite a lot larger. I know, Craig McMillan, Steve Kerr, a lot of guys, and then into the Mats were also on those teams as well. So there's a lot of, at the time, there was a lot of rotating. He was that great change of pace guy. Came off the bench and just, you did not want to see Kenny Lofton coming in there and D'ing you up, as those numbers show, because he really had an incredibly quick hands, really good anticipation, just a very good overall defensive player.
So he's actually right now, Kenny Lofton is 5th on the career table in steals, behind Jason Terry 245, Hassan Adams 238, Jason Gardner 225, Reggie Geary 208, and then Kenny Lofton with 200. So Reggie Geary broke the record. He would have broken it in 1996, his final year at the University of Arizona. So Kenny's record would have stood for 7 seasons. So actually, he might qualify as a basketball player under that one component that says you must hold a career record for a minimum of 5 years. And so he held the steals record for that minimum of 5 years. So we will say that he definitely qualifies as a Ring of Honor entity under a basketball stat, and not just for his prowess being a 17-year major leaguer and 6-time All-Star. Okay. Guess who's the back? It's again. Cricket. Cricket is back again. Cricket's got more tickets. What are you giving away tickets to now, Cricket?
I do. I have a second 4-pack of seats for this weekend's hockey action down at the arena.
Okay.
These are for Saturday night's game between Tucson and Henderson, and I want to see just how fast you can skate to the phone.
Oh.
Caller 1-520-848-1290, taking these seats downtown to see them drop the gloves, throw some blows, and shoot that puck on Saturday night. Caller 1-520-848-1290.
We know you like to drop the gloves and throw the blows part of that, don't you?
I really do. Yes.
See, you can't wait to, I can see it in your face, Cricket. You can't wait to get to a hockey game so you can watch them fight.
It better not be cold, though.
It's hockey. There's ice. It's a big thing of ice. Of course, it's going to be hot or cold. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what happens at a hocky game.
I know.
Got to put your, but you know how to dress for winter and all that kind of thing.
I don't own a
Did you
jacket.
see it? Did you see Buffalo?
Oh, gosh. Sports fans are, I don't want to say insane in a bad way, but like they're so passionate. I can't believe. Do you see those people walking through that waist-high snow?
That's crazy.
That was insane.
That was crazy. I would stay home before I did that.
Me too, honestly.
I don't need to see a playoff game that bad.
That's kind of what I thought too, but I guess they mean business.
All right, getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives. And no more tickets today. Maybe some more. We'll have to see when the next game is, but here's Cricket.
All right, from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Reported collisions, Ajo at I-10, Speedway and Kolb Road. Also, Kolb Road to the north of I-10. Some backups at Ajo and Mission. Also on eastbound Grant Road at Columbus. And you might see a little bit of police activity along I-10, maybe near Cortero or maybe near Ina. And weather-wise, 48 the low, 77 partly cloudy tomorrow, and 73 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt Tax Services, home of the Money Today Guarantee. Can't wait weeks for your tax refund? Then don't. At Jackson Hewitt, get money today if you're approved for a no-fee refund advance loan on a prepaid card. Book today at jacksonhewitt.com. No-fee refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Wildcat fans, join head coach Adia Barnes and the Arizona women's basketball team in McHale Center this season. Single game tickets start as low as $17 and are available for purchase now. You won't want to miss the fierce competition coming to Arizona. Tickets are available at ArizonaWildcats.com/WBK. Arizona women's basketball. Let's pack McHale Center.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Happy New Year, guys. That was right in my ear.
Oh, good. I see you're doing the whole baby New Year costume with the diaper and the sash.
Time to make resolutions. I resolved not to look at you dressed like that. People should start the new year by fixing up their heating and air system.
That's true. Alaskan AC can fix the stuff other companies can't.
Again, right in my ear. Plus, the Grizzly.
Right. The Grizzly is our custom-built AC made to take a chomp out of Arizona summers.
Still winter, guys. And we can fix up heaters to save our customers gobs of money. Gobs.
We believe in fixing before replacing.
What's a gob?
An Alaska-fied system is one that will last longer
and is guaranteed to be repair-free for an entire year. Woohoo! I swear, one more time with that thing.
Good resolution, Gary. Let's get out there and help people fix up their systems and save some real money.
All right. Probably should have told him to put some clothes on first.
Yeah.
Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
Can't get enough of your Arizona Wildcats? Make sure to stop by Taco Bell in the spring for a meet and greet opportunity with some of your Arizona men's basketball players at Taco Bell. Pick up your favorite Taco Bell combo and live Moss with an autograph or photo from Kylan Boswell and Keyshawn Johnson. Taco Bell, locally owned and operated and proud partner of Arizona Athletics. Bear down and live Moss.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, it's Michael Fabiano. The playoffs are here. The stakes are higher than ever. And there's no better way to turn playoff football's big game energy into 100 times your money than Prize Picks. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's that easy. You could turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Get in the lab and cook up your winning entry. Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100 when you download the Prize Picks app and use code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why does 1290 run this town?
It's simple. 1290 is the only radio station that can bring you Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Scoreboard 1290.
This is the home of the Wildcats.
This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Cricket's got tickets to see the Roadrunners. Who's going? Let's talk to Tom. You're on DK on the sports tip, Wildcats Radio 1290. Congratulations, Tom. You're going to see the Roadrunners.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Are you a hockey fan, Tom?
You know, I kind of am. I'm old and I'm slow, so it's really hard to watch on TV unless I got one that's like the size of a wall, which I don't, but I love it in person. Yeah, we used to go here all the time years and years ago when we had a team. And yeah, it was it's special. Yep.
What do you love most?
I got a friend of mine that actually, go ahead.
No, you said you have a friend that what?
I have a friend that has his grandson is playing for the semi-pro or whatever it is, I guess a club team, that this kid is going to be a star one day. He's already being recruited by some colleges.
And this is this young man is here in Tucson?
He lives in Phoenix.
Oh, he lives in Phoenix. Okay.
He lives in Phoenix. Yeah, but yeah, I got some pictures of him. I'll text them to you to the show sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's going to be a good one. But no, I love hockey in person. It's great.
Yeah, text them to 520-848-1290. We'll make sure maybe we put those up on our social media platform and give him some pub. So who are you going to take to the game? Who are you going to take to the game with you, Tom?
It will be my daughter, granddaughter, and whoever my daughter wants to bring with.
Oh, there you go. How old's your granddaughter?
5.
5. Will this be her first hockey game?
5. No, this is her second. She went last year.
Oh, okay, awesome. Did she pick a favorite player last year? Did she see anybody on the ice that she really liked?
You know, I don't.
She just liked liked the cotton candy.
Well, that and the banging around a place. No, yeah, she's all about that stuff. We took her to a D-backs game. She loved that. And she's playing basketball at her kindergarten and everything else. So, yeah, loves it.
Awesome. Getting her going early. Well, Tom, enjoy the game. I think we got his information already. Yep.
We do.
Okay, so just make sure you get those tickets before 5 o'clock on Friday so you can have fun Saturday night.
I will be doing that. Thank you.
All right, that's Tom going to see the Tucson Roadrunners and the Henderson Silver Knights. The Roadrunners in first place in the AHL's Pacific Division. And speaking of minor league sports here in Tucson, the FC Tucson this week made the announcement of this year's Desert Friendlies, which are going to be taking place. And that is going to be Saturday, January the 27th at 6 o'clock. We're going to talk to John Perlman tomorrow. He is the founder of FC Tucson. We'll talk to him about the game between Club Football Montreal and Minnesota United that is coming up. And there's going to be a number of teams from the National Women's Soccer League, prominent teams from USL and whatnot that are going to be training here in Tucson. 14th consecutive season that FC Tucson has hosted the preseason for Major League Soccer and other soccer levels professionally here in the United States. Always a fun time when we get into the end of January and February and get into the soccer season and soccer preparation. Soccer's probably got the shortest off season of any sport, professional sport around. They literally, I think the championship is in December and they're back training again in like the end of January. It's like literally they get like 6 weeks off before they have to go back to work. Where most professional franchises get at least a few weeks off, or a few months off, I should say, before they have to go back to work. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. I want you to hear some more of what Brent Brennan, the new football coach of the Arizona Wildcats, had to say yesterday. He was asked how many people have reached out to him since he accepted the job to come here to Tucson. And we mentioned also that his brother, Brad, played for 5 seasons for the Arizona Wildcats back in the day. He was asked about his brother Brad's career here at the University of Arizona.
So I'm currently sitting with like 1,280 something text messages since yesterday, since seriously 8 a.m. yesterday, or whenever the new word started to get out. So I have not responded to all those people, there's been lots of Wildcats that have reached out too. Right? I've heard from Keith Smith and Ortiz Jenkins and Bobby Wade and kind of my brother's generation type guys, D Hall. That's been fun for me to reconnect with some of those people. Brad's career here was I think incredibly special, and because I had played for Homer Smith was the offense coordinator at UCLA when I was playing, and Homer was such a incredible teacher. Those of you that got a chance to spend any time with Homer, he's super smart and really creative and unique in how he taught football, and he found all kinds of exciting ways to teach or to make a point. He flew 4 Air Force jets over our practice at UCLA to show our quarterbacks and our running backs how to work proper pitch relationship. Yeah, it was crazy. He's like, see, you never leave your wingman. He stopped practice, right? So so Homer came here after to work with Coach Tomey after he left UCLA, and so I reached out to him and I said, hey, I think my younger brother's a pretty good player. But he doesn't have much going right now. Would you look at him? And so he looked at me, and so they had agreed to let him come when school started. And we were up on our family vacation up at Donner Lake, and they got a phone call, and they said, he can come to camp if he's here tomorrow. And guess who was there tomorrow? Brad. He was excited about it. And the rest is kind of storybook, with the culmination of him sitting on the goalpost after beating ASU. That picture has circulated a couple times lately. My own players at San Jose thought that was insane because I had it in my office. They're like, who is that? Is that your brother? Like, you would kill us. Yep. Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think that's another part of that evaluation thing, right? Like, I think sometimes people in the recruiting space are like, we can only go portal, right? Or we can only go JC, or we can only go high school. And like scholarship players are the only ones that can contribute, which is insane. Some of the best players you've ever had here have been walk-ons. Some of the best players I've ever coached in my life have been walk-ons, right? And Brad was able to have this incredible journey on some really great teams, right? Like, those years there were some really fun years, and it was fun for our family to be a part of it. He's excited. I don't know if he's here right now, but he's in town, so he is over the top fired up.
Look forward to getting a chance to talk to Brent Brennan here in the near future. I'm sure he's got some stories to tell about his brother and about playing on those teams in the late 1990s. We've talked to a lot of those guys on our pre and our post game shows that played with Kelvin Ifan during that era, and I'm sure Brad's another guy who would definitely bring some good stories to the table to tell about the best team in Arizona Wildcats history. Now, apparently there's some people out there, our friend Doug in Tucson is one of them, who think that maybe Brent, and obviously I had trouble saying it because I was confusing it with Brian Brennan the other day, that Brent Brennan is a difficult name to say, that we need to get it, we need to shorten it down, get him a moniker, apparently. We need to maybe get him a nickname. And so there have been some nicknames floating around for Coach Brent Brennan. Doug in Tucson suggested Bren, Coach Bren. I don't know if I like that, though. It sounds too much. I know too many girls named Bren, so I don't know if that really fits for a coach, at least not from my perspective. Somebody suggested Coach BB. We call him Coach BB, would be one. Well, apparently he has a nickname, or did in San Jose. It was Swaggy B. And we heard yesterday where the alter ego of Swaggy B came from.
We can only go portal, right? Or we can only go JC, or we can only go high school. And like scholarship players are the only ones that can contribute, which is insane. Some of the best players you've ever had here have been walk-ons. Some of the best players I've ever coached in my life have been walk-ons. Right, and Brad was able to have this incredible journey on some really great teams, right? Like, those years there were some really fun years, and it was fun for our family to be a part of it. He's excited. I don't know if he's here right now, but he's in town, so he is over the top fired up.
So Brian, we'll wrap it up with Craig in the back.
Brian Peterson with AZ Desert Swarm. Can you give us a little insight into the genesis of Swaggy B, and do you anticipate that continuing here at Arizona?
Oh my gosh. The things we do for social media. So during the summer camp, I don't know if that 2 or 3 years ago, there were lots of players that were coming to camp, and they didn't look like they were ready to participate. They looked like they were coming for a photo shoot. So they would be at practice. Like we're evaluating whether we think you're good enough or not to come play for us at that time at San Jose State. And they were showing up in pajama pants and big Viper sunglasses, and it was crazy. I was like, dude, you're playing football today. What are we doing? But and so it became this funny play on that well, I'm going to coach that way. And so we kind of started with our social media team at San Jose State, awesome people back there. And so I had a pair of Oakley blades, and we just started, and our players thought it was the funniest thing ever too, because they were like, "Swaggy B, when are you coming out?" And so I was like, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. And so it became a fun thing for the guys on our team also. And so I think you put so much time and effort into this, and this is something I haven't said enough today. Players, coaches, staff, everybody, you put so much time into this. Like, if it's not fun, you're dead wrong. Like, you have to find ways to make it fun. You have to find ways for it to be enjoyable, for the journey to be enjoyable. And so Swaggy B was part of that at San Jose State. I can't believe you brought that up. That's amazing.
It's the important stuff.
That's right. That's right. Well, obviously it had an impact. It's still coming up a couple years later.
What do you think of Swaggy B there, J-Dub?
I think if the coach is cool with it, I understand where Doug and others are coming from. It's an alliteration, right?
Brent Brennan.
Yeah. So I think the best nicknames come organically. And in time, I'm sure that the right nickname will present itself. That's what I think.
Yeah. Because when you say Brent Brennan, you might want to say Bren Brennan or Brent Brennan, Brian Brennan. Yeah, there's a lot of different, like you said, ways that it could flow out.
Coach.
There you go. That's easy. Coach is easy. Coming up in our next segment, we'll let you hear from Nancy Tomey, who knows a little bit about Brent Brennan and his wife, Courtney, who's going to be the new First Lady of Arizona football. A couple of comments have come in on our question of the day before we get to traffic here. Our question of the day is, does U of A showing and announcing running back Jonah Coleman on the Jumbotron at Wednesday night's men's basketball game give you hope that Jonah might decide to stay here at the University of Arizona? And I want to just read a couple of these comments here real quick. One of them comes from Jeff Sorensen, and he says, I just respect that he, being Jonah Coleman, wore the colors maybe one last time and showed his face. If he goes and it's better for him there, I'm okay with that. But he didn't just throw the fans and his Wildcat friends away like trash.
Yeah, I mean, if he had rolled in there with the Husky uniform, that would have been a problem.
Yeah. Not good there. All right, getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather. Here's Cricket.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. That earlier chase on the freeway has been stopped on I-10 in the area of Alvernon Way, an area of I-10 and Irvington Palo Verde. Please completely avoid that area of I-10 near Irvington Palo Verde and I-10 near Alvernon. Collisions, Cardinal and Los Reales, Oracle and River, and also Ajo Way and I-10. 48 the overnight low, 77 partly cloudy tomorrow, and 73 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Did you know that the Chevy Silverado is the #1 best-selling full-size truck in Arizona? Did you know that O'Reilly Chevrolet has the largest selection of trucks in the valley? Now you do.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Wildcat fans, join head coach Adia Barnes and the Arizona women's basketball team in McKale Center this season. Season tickets are on sale now. You won't want to miss the fierce competition coming to Arizona. Season tickets are available now at ArizonaWildcats.com/WBK. Arizona women's basketball. Let's pack McKale Center.
Happy New Year, guys. That was right in my ear.
Oh, good. I see you're doing the whole baby New Year costume with the diaper and the sash.
Time to make resolutions. I resolved not to look at you dressed like that. People should start the new year by fixing up their heating and air system.
That's true. Alaskan AC can fix the stuff other companies can't.
Again, right in my ear. Plus, the Grizzly.
Right. The Grizzly is our custom-built AC made to take a chomp out of Arizona summers.
Still winter, guys. And we can fix up heaters to save our customers gobs of money. Gobs.
We believe in fixing before replacing.
What's a gob?
An Alaska-fied system is one that will last longer
and is guaranteed to be repair-free for an entire year. Woohoo! I swear, one more time with that thing.
Good resolution, Gary. Let's get out there and help people fix up their systems and save some real money.
All right. Probably should have told him to put some clothes on first.
Yeah.
Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
Okay, kids, we're home. Everybody out.
Ew, my feet are stuck.
In what, honey?
On the floor.
Ew. Take off your shoes. Tommy, come carry your sister into the house.
What do you do when the car you use the most has the least amount of time to get clean? Let Recon Auto Detailing, Arizona's premier auto detailing company, come to you and turn your busiest car back into your best. From basic cleaning to a full detail, Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Anjali.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just got an alert for a strange charge on my card.
No problem. We make sure you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card. Let's see. Did you purchase something from a t-shirt cannon store yesterday?
Absolutely not. No, I already have like 3.
$0 fraud liability guarantee. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Limitations apply.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
My daughter is normally a little goofball, but after a bad night's sleep, she's too tired to be anything. That's why I trust Pure Z's Kids. Pure Z's Kids is mindfully formulated just for kids. Their non-habit forming, drug-free products help my daughter fall asleep naturally, giving her the rest to be her best.
I'm a dinosaur.
Her best dinosaur.
Pure Z's Kids, for ages 4 and up when needed. Explore our products at zquill.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Sports fans in Tucson can't survive without 1290. In the fall, we bring you Arizona football, the NFL, and the Super Bowl. Then 1290 brings you Arizona men's basketball, and in the spring, Arizona baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Out to Hornry. Over for Page. Handed off. James wide open for 3. Got it.
Bronny James's first appearance at McHale Center on Wednesday night, I should say, in the Trojans' loss to Arizona 82-67. He scored 11 points. Dave Wilson checks in on Facebook. Again, you can comment on any of our social media platforms: Facebook at Wildcats Radio 1290, YouTube on our stream at Wildcats Radio 1290, Twitter at Wildcats 1290. You can chime in any of those places with your thoughts about things in sports and the show. Well, Dave Wilson checks in on Facebook, and he says, does anyone know why Bronny was being booed last night? Well, Dave, we discussed that at length on the post-game show last night. It didn't make any sense to me why the Zona Zoo was booing Bronny James, other than the fact that he's LeBron James's son. He's famous, and
is that jealousy?
Probably something of that nature. I mean, again, and I'll go back to what I said last night. I mean, when I was in school, we booed the bad guys.
Yeah. You gotta
at
have
the
a
other
reason.
schools.
Gotta have a reason to boo.
Yeah, but I don't know that Bronny James is a bad guy yet. I mean, if he rolls into Tucson and puts 30 on you in back-to-back seasons and then comes back for the third time, maybe he's a bad guy then.
DK, sometimes segues, they just write themselves. It's just like amazing how poetically it happens because I know who the bad guys are. Do you know who the bad guys are?
Oh, yes.
And we're the bad guys. So say hello to the bad guys. You may never see a bad guy like us again, but that's who we were tonight. We were the bad guys. So I'm sure no one else said anything except us all night.
The bad guys would be those Sun Devils.
They're the bad guys, yeah.
Because they got 4 technical fouls down the stretch of their loss to the UCLA Bruins, 68-66. Bobby doesn't want to tell us how he really feels, though. Yeah, I don't want to tell you how I really feel.
He came in so hot to that press conference, too. It was great. Like, he started talking before you could even see him on the camera. It was awesome.
Oh, you gotta love Bobby Hurley. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be. It's gonna be fun this year. It's always gonna be fun as long as he's there. And they'll be coming down here, and we'll be going up there for the 2 games this year on the hardwood. Last year they stole one at the buzzer here, and then the Wildcats got it back in the Pac-12 tournament on the 3rd meeting of the season. So always fun, that rivalry now between Bobby Hurley and Tommy Lloyd for sure. All right, let's give you a chance to hear something that about our new coach, Brent Brennan.
And now, the best thing you will hear all day.
Hachi-machi!
It's time for the Wildcat Radio Replay. In case you missed this earlier in the day, we now bring you the best of 1290. It's made possible by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, it is the wife of Nancy Tomey. I mean, the wife of Dick Tomey. Her name is Nancy Tomey. Had a chance to catch up with her yesterday at the Brent Brennan press conference and asked her about her thoughts on the hiring of her husband's protege.
A few minutes with Nancy Tomey, the wife of Tomey, the late Dick Tomey. And Nancy, well, what does this day mean for you to see one of your husband's proteges have a chance to come back and coach this program?
First of all, I realize how old I am, right? Because I remember when I thought of Brent and Courtney as kids, and now here he is at the helm of the program. They're great people, and it's joyful to see them come forward and take charge. You know, I'm ready for the new generation to take the ball and run with it, so to speak.
What does he mean to you? What are we getting here in this young man?
You know, he's a great human being. He's a great person. Dick Tomey aside, I think Dick influenced him, but probably Dick learned from him because Dick was a learner, not just a teacher. And the best teachers are learners, you know. So I think he's gonna. Dick is somewhere hovering above, happy. So that's all I can say. You know?
When you hear just the legacy that your husband had on men like him, what does that say to you about, you keep hearing the sayings and the traditions that were a part of what he did here, and to hear those so many years later?
You know, I think he was a rare person and therefore a rare coach in some ways. I always say he never followed the coaching script and that you never knew what he was going to say. I lived with him and I didn't know what he was going to say, right? Because he was a thinker and he was an out-of-the-box guy and he was a people person. And you put all that together. I'm so sorry. You put all that together and he was just unique in those ways, right? People first. He was a communicator. Even when nobody else wanted to communicate, you couldn't resist because he was always finding ways to communicate and he was passionate. And, I don't think everybody has to be what he was or be just like he was, but you can learn from people all around you. He certainly learned from people around him, and he learned from the players. He was a learner, and he said to me one time, Nance, you know the great thing about me? And I thought, oh my gosh, there are a lot of great things about him. He said, I'm a learner. I can learn. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's what I want to be. I want to be a learner. And he was that. He epitomized a learner.
What was the best advice you gave him as a football wife?
Well, one time at San Jose State, I said, do not wear that pull-down sock hat. Do not wear that under any circumstances. You look crazy. And he wore it. But everybody commented afterwards. He got phone calls saying, "What are you doing with that hat on your head? You look crazy." So that one time I was right,
That was the Wildcat Radio Replay with the best of the best from 1290. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Nancy Tomey with sage words of advice.
You look
Everybody
crazy.
should be. You look crap. First of all, you look crazy. A sock hat. I'm wondering if that's like a skull cap is what she's talking about.
I don't know.
I wish we could find that picture
What I do
of
know
Dick Tomey in the sock hat.
is the best teachers are always the best student. Like if you are a curious mind and you're always willing to be open to new information, I mean, that's how you become a great teacher. Because when you're closed off and you're not willing to learn new information, DK, then it's hard to pass along any of that sage wisdom onto anybody within earshot.
Good stuff there. Good stuff there from Nancy Tomey. It was awesome I'd never ever had a chance to speak with her, but it was nice to get to do that. I was not here during the Dick Tomey era covering sports, obviously, but this is Brent Brennan. See, Brent Brennan, Brian Brennan, Brent Brennan. Brent Brennan's arrival. This is going to be my 5th head coach here covering for Arizona football. Got here in 2008. Started with the Mike Stoops era, kind of in the middle, just as Mike was getting it going in 2008 with a team that went to the Las Vegas Bowl and then the Holiday Bowl and then the Alamo Bowl. It was 3 straight years of bowls for those last 3 teams that he coached and the first 3 years that I was here in Tucson. My first new coach arrival was obviously Rich Rodriguez in 2012, and then Kevin Sumlin in 2018, and then Jed Fish in 2021, and now Brian Brennan in 2024. So it's very interesting when these things happen and you get the new coach. You always wonder, it's like, okay, is this going to be the last guy? Is this going to be the last coach that I'm going to cover in this role? Because you never know what your longevity is covering sports in any one market. And I think when Jed Fish got hired, I was like, well, am I going to outlive Fish? I kind of thought I might, because I wasn't sure if he would be here that long. I certainly hope I don't outlive. And when I say outlive, I mean outlive in terms of covering sports in this market.
Gotcha.
Not die or anything.
Sure.
But I certainly hope I don't outlive Brent Brennan. I hope he's here for a long, long time to do great things here, not only with this football program, but within this community, and really looking forward to the chance to speak with him tomorrow at length and let you hear what he has to say about what he wants to do here in this community. 520-848-1290, final chance for you to get in on the program. Interesting story coming out of the Big 12 on the women's basketball side. I want to hit this before we wrap up today. But TCU, Texas Christian, their women's basketball team has had to cancel 2 games this week due to the fact that they don't have enough players to play those games. Now, you may be aware of the fact that there are 2 former Arizona Wildcats on that team. Maddie Connor transferred out after last year and ended up at TCU. She is currently, I believe, the 2nd leading scorer on the Horned Frogs women's basketball team. And Tara Manamaluga is also on that team. She transferred out 2 years ago and is at TCU now as well. But the Lady Horned Frogs started the season 14-0. And they got to Big 12 play. They lost 4 games in a row, and now they're going to have to forfeit 2 games because they don't have enough players to compete in those games. We don't know the extent of all the injuries. I know one of their guards announced on social media that she's tore an ACL and is out for the season. There's some rumors potentially that Maddie Connor might be hurt too. We don't know that for a fact. We haven't seen anything on that. But it's crazy to think about what's happening there with all of the roster issues that the Arizona women's basketball team has been dealing with this season in having limited numbers and having to play an exhibition game with just 5 girls and in another game being down to 7 and not having post players off the bench due to injuries and due to players leaving the program. It's real tough now. And I think it goes back, J-Dub, to something, just to that conversation we were having last week about the high school girls basketball. And it just doesn't seem like, I mean, of course, this is not happening everywhere and it's not a widespread issue, but clearly in some places there's a numbers problem in terms of girls, having enough girls that want to play this game.
Maybe it's time to evaluate the whole walk-on thing, huh?
I would think so. I mean, I would think you have to. They're having an open tryout for walk-ons at TCU just to have enough so they don't have to forfeit any more games. It's a very unfortunate situation happening down at Texas Christian University, especially after they started the year 14-0 and now they're 14-6, having lost 4 in a row and having to forfeit their 2 games this week as well. So very interesting. All right, tomorrow's Friday. It'll be the final regular show of the week. We've got Arizona women's basketball for you here tomorrow night. They're back out on the road. They left today for Seattle. They'll take on the Washington Huskies. That is an 8 o'clock start, so our coverage will begin at 7:45 tomorrow night with Derek Palmer. You can hear that right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. John Perlman is going to join us tomorrow on the show, and we'll have a number of other interviews for you as we wrap up the week and get you to the weekend, getting you set for what's going to be an exciting sports weekend, in particular with the UCLA Bruins coming into town to take on the Wildcats on Saturday at McHale Center. Like to thank all the people that were a part of this program today. Thanks to J.W. Madden. Thanks to Cricket, who had tickets. Always be here because you never know when that opportunity is going to come for you to be able to go and see a sporting event courtesy of our gal Cricket. Most of all, and as always, we thank you for listening. My name is David Kelly. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon, 12:40, for our exclusive interview with the new head football coach of the Arizona Wildcats, Brent Brennan. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Thursday night. Bear down, Arizona.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Earlier, police chase we were talking about along I-10 has finally come to a stop near I-10 and Irvington-Palo Verde. There are backups. Heavy traffic at a standstill, both directions on I-10 near Irvington, Palo Verde. Please avoid the area. Other crashes, Wilma and Carondelet, also Oracle and River, Cardinal and Los Reales. 48 overnight and about 70 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. With over 100 online casino-style games, Chumba Casino is your go-to destination for nonstop entertainment. Play for fun and play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void or prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the